Hello, and welcome, and good morning to Moon,
Good morning to Moon.
and good morning or afternoon or whatever it is for everyone else.
Yes. Afternoon. Early afternoon.
Yes. So we are here for another dual rule stream. This is number 10.
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah. A year ago, more or less,
Yeah.
we announced the beginning of this project.
Oh, yeah.
And here we are.
Still working on it.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yes. So, yes, I assume everyone has watched our update videos, but we have read and commented and discussed our, what we've written so far.
Yeah.
And we've got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. First of all, how's everyone doing? Thank you, Moon. I enjoy this background.
Yes. It's very good.
Like it. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I went back in my uploads. January 23rd we announced.
Yeah.
But we didn't start the streams until February.
Yeah.
And I assume the first one was February 1st or something. I don't know.
And?
I'm scrolling.
Well, we don't actually need to know that.
February 6th was the first plot of story, and that we did plot and then world build Saturdays and Sundays. We dedicated a lot of time to that in the
Yes,
beginning.
we did.
And we still are. Still are.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like looking like everything is on fire is fairly
Relevant?
thematic
Yes.
for the story.
Yeah. Side note, I just realized you never brought me water.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'll have to go get more water at some point. That's fine. Hello, Amy. Welcome.
Hello.
And Moon, I'm glad you're excited and good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm a lot better than I was Thursday.
Yeah.
But I'm still tired and, all those things. But I'm here.
Yes, you are. I'm very glad you're here.
Me too.
Yeah, and I'm doing good. I was not doing great a few hours ago, but I am good now. So, yay.
That's good.
Yes. Yes. We have been excited. We are still excited, I think. I'm still excited.
See, if I hadn't been drinking, then I would have made a super snarky comment, but then you beat me to actually fixing what you said.
Well, I am sorry.
I used to be excited about Niam's story. Now I'm, it's been a few days.
He's a wingy.
No, I'm really not with that. But yes, we are here. We're going to do a bunch of stuff today. Hopefully not too much stuff.
Hopefully.
I like how the... I'm looking at the document for our streams, which you can probably find in the description.
Mm-hmm.
Stream number 9, the notes for that is less than a page.
Yeah.
So here's to hoping that today will be similar and that won't be here for 10 hours.
Well, it's not. It's about a page.
Yes, but
It's a little bit on the next one. Anyway.
but that's planning and not the same.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, our questions for this one is...
half a page at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Should we get into that?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah? Well, then we are adding this to the stream,
Yes.
making it maybe a little bigger so
Please.
that we can read.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes!
We can decide to keep it short, but we tend to not be able to keep it short.
Yeah.
We will see how we feel throughout. If we get too tired, we will stop.
Yeah.
Where the boss mark is.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a bunch of things to talk about,
Mhm.
but I guess, first of all, does anyone have any comments? Like, does anyone have anything that they think we've been unclear on or want to bring up or talk about? Because then we can just add that into the thing before we start. And if not, you can always throw those out as we go as well.
Yeah. I'm just gonna turn these into...
The things that they're supposed to be.
Yes.
Really? Hooch.
I am so sorry. Whee!
Now it's more in the page.
Yes, it is.
And also a weird,
Yeah. Oh, it's because, yeah. Okay. That doesn't make sense at all, but fine.
Glad you're having a great time.
I am. Are we getting any comments or
Nope, not really.
are we getting started?
I guess we're getting started.
No?
Should we start with just going from the top to the bottom, like work our way through the list, or should we talk anything about? We did talk a bit about our reading experiences.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we start there?
Let's start there.
That is not actually related to the story as such.
But it's something I wanted to bring up today because Marcus pointed something out that I don't think he's right. Yes, I had made a comment on Niam's story. I don't remember what.
No.
I think I was like, things are getting exponentially worse or
something like that.
Something like that. And then Marcus pointed out to me that exponential means that it doubles. So 1 becomes 2, becomes 4, becomes 8.
Mm-hmm.
To me, exponential just means increase, growth, like bigger. And we wanted to hear from some native English speakers, Moon, and some not native English speakers, AV, and anyone else who might be here, but now the two of you are.
And anyone else who might be watching after
Later.
The fact
Yes.
are also allowed to
Yes.
pitch in on this.
So who's right here? Because Marcus also did say that a lot of people, native speakers or not, do use exponentially wrong.
Yeah.
But I made a comment and then Marcus, or no, it was a comment. I'd written something in mine and you commented that's not what that means. Doesn't matter.
Maybe. Either way.
Either way, I was apparently wrong.
Yes. It's a bit of a pet peeve word of mine ever since I learned, because I mean, I also thought it just meant increase.
Yeah.
But then I was informed that actually the original meaning is that, does have a specific mathematical meaning. A lot of people do use it figuratively.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's actually wrong to use it figuratively. I just
Prefer not to.
Yeah.
You prefer it when people don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a math nerd?
I'm not really a math nerd, but in a way, because it's often used, like, I read a lot of nonfiction and like science books and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there, exponential means like they use it in the mathematical way.
Yeah.
And it's possible that that has rubbed up on me. That's
not how you say that.
I know. But I said it.
Yes, like I said exponentially. So truth is, or
yes.
What word am I looking for?
I don't know. Exponential?
No. So we're both right. Me more so than Marcus. Good. Moving on.
Okay.
Exponential growth is growth that increases exponentially, like x squared. So to me, it means that things are not just getting worse, but it's getting rapidly worse.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I can agree with this, but I just didn't know that it meant doubling.
No.
That it's getting more and more worse, yes. Worser and worser, as I like to say. But
yes.
Anyway, that was not important, but thank you for settling that. Peppa cooks malt.
Let's go to the first question of the actual story variety. I don't know. How do the powers work?
Magically.
Yes. Because I feel like I think we've talked about this. I think we've made decisions on this.
Mm-hmm.
But
clearly not well followed.
I don't know. I'm just uncertain. Because do they have to touch things to manipulate them? I think we've said they don't.
I think we've said they do. Or rather, they could use things that were related, like you could pick up coal and make fire from. Somehow. Possibly.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yes. You would prefer that they didn't have to touch them, or would prefer that they had to touch them?
I would prefer that they had to touch them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how I've written it.
Mm-hmm.
At least for the most part.
Mm-hmm. I'm not.
No.
Yeah.
What would you prefer?
I don't know. I like the idea that they would have to touch them because that makes a little bit more sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it limits them more.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Here's a ball of fire I'm gonna throw at you. Which I think is good in terms of Octavian. However, like Moon is saying, it would be super inconvenient to have fire powers but not be able to start a fire, because that's something that I do. Liv starts a fire with her fire powers.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. And then she doesn't actually have fire and make more fire. She uses the old ways of making fire, but maybe she has more luck. She's faster. She's, with the help of her fire powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know is my answer.
Well, Amy has a vague memory that we talked about this before, and it depends on the power.
Mm.
Yeah. Because the thing is, air you touch all the time.
Yep.
So, yeah, unless you're submerged in water.
Yeah.
And
then you touch water all the time.
Yes.
Convenient. Yeah.
Water. I mean, there's usually moisture in the air, so I assume there's water molecules in the air that you can grab and turn into a ball of water.
I mean, how chemistry do you want to get with this is also a question.
I mean, not super,
no.
but
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ground, I mean, as long as you're walking on the ground.
Mm. And I mean, if you have a walking stick or something, or if you have wooden soles on your shoes, I don't know, wooden buttons, then you are touching something wooden.
Yes.
So plant.
Yes, but then you can probably only manipulate those in that case.
Mm.
It's not like, oh, I'm holding a stick. Now I can manipulate all of the...
But Niam had a nightmare and grew a bunch of trees.
Yes.
He was not touching the seeds or the plants.
That is very true.
Mm.
But if it depends on the power, because maybe then it sort of has to do with like how attuned you are to the power. Because Niam takes to plants like immediately.
And air.
And air. I mean, air he practices more with. It's just that he's had that for the longest.
Yeah. Plant he learns that easily, like faster.
Yeah. And so maybe he can manipulate plants even if he's not touching them, but
Liv can't.
Liv can't necessarily.
Yeah.
And then maybe she can make fire because she's more attuned to the fire powers, but Niam can't. Or he can, but he has to learn it and like...
Yeah.
He did have earth powers.
He did.
He did not get along with his earth powers, but yeah.
No, I mean, if you look at everything as one big circle of not life, but powers,
Yeah.
I mean, if you touch ground, you're touching seeds. Eventually, further away from the ground where you are, there is water.
Also air. Like if you're touching the air, you're touching everything that the air is touching. Like
exactly.
In theory.
So we could go that route. Like you're touching everything all the time. It just depends on what you have the biggest attraction to, so to speak, or like what you have an easier time with.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because it also makes me think like the ruler, not just Octavian, but let's talk about him. I feel like if I am the ruler of this country, sure, there might not be any outside threats that aren't my people, but still, I'm the ruler. I have to prove myself to be the ruler, especially if I have very low confidence, which I think he does. You know, not that he wanders around people a lot, but I feel like while I am around people, I want to show that I am big and powerful. Then I want to walk around with fire in one hand and a tree growing in another, or like I want to look impressive, you know? And then I want to make sure to always carry all of my things. Like if I have to touch them, then I want to have a little bag, a little pouch in which I have a seed, I have some water in a vial, I have, you know, and I can just stick my hand into it and pull out a tree, you know?
Yeah.
But it seems inconvenient to have to do that if you have magical powers, and you could just like tree.
Yeah.
Maybe he eats seeds for breakfast. I don't know.
Would it be too non-specific if you just had to be in near proximity for the power
I think
to
we
work?
talked about that, but we didn't really define what proximity it would have to be.
And I mean, we don't have, like, for this, I feel like maybe we don't have to decide, like, you can be no longer than 2 meters from the thing.
You have to see the tree.
Yeah.
I can't see further than 2 meters apparently. Really hinders my life here, yeah?
But rather, like, I think it can be non-specific and just in the proximity. We just need to make sure that, like, if Lyd can make fire, then she can always make fire. And like we have to
From
decide.
nothing.
We have to decide like what these individuals can do or can learn to do.
And Octavian.
Yes.
Because that affects the ending of the book.
Yes.
Is it something you can build up? Tolerance is the wrong word, but it's something you can build up a tolerance to over time as well. Like at first I need to be able to say see the tree or hold a seed, and then I can see the tree, and then I can, you know, I know there's a forest 50 paces that way, and then like grow your realm of awareness.
I mean, I think that would make sense. That like if you're like more connected to or comfortable with one power, then you can immediately, because I mean that's what happens with Neem with his plant powers.
Yeah.
Is that when he has them, he can feel the vegetation around him.
Yeah.
Like I've described it as that he feels like it's part of his body.
Yeah. Which is a very good description.
Thank you. Whereas like ground, he can feel the little patch he's standing and like a decimeter down.
Yeah.
But then, but
you
maybe
can't open up the earth and have it swallow someone whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually, with like learning and like getting to know the element, that probably expands.
Yeah, and I mean then it works a bit like, excuse me, if we pull parallels to our world or just real life, parallels to like running. Initially, I can't run very far, but the more I practice, the further I can run.
Yeah.
And it's a different sensation, or a sensation, but still.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
So, no, you don't have to touch them, but be in proximity. The exact distance
varies.
depends on your affinity to.
I also really like what Moon said here. I like being more connected to or comfortable with different powers. Lid just about died in Inferno Valley. She might have had some level of acceptance with that, and surrendered to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a bit with him and his plant powers, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So that could work as a concept.
Yeah.
Could work very, very well as a concept.
Yeah.
Well.
Then the question is, though, what's the difference between his ground powers and his plant powers?
Because, okay, spoiler, it's okay that we talk about it openly, right,
Yeah.
Marcus? Yeah. Part of his ground powers was that he was almost buried alive.
Yes.
I mean, it could be that he did not accept that. He was scared.
Yeah.
Lid with Inferno Valley. I can change it because she actually gets out of the fire, but I can change it. She might have pure exhaustion. I will not make it. I accept my fate. Sort of. Somehow, and I mean, then she doesn't lie down and fall asleep, but something happens that knocks her out.
Yeah.
And so she had an acceptance for it. He had a panic.
Yeah.
Which also meant that he kept fighting in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with him and the difference, I guess, with ground, he was always trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
With plants, he ran straight through the poisonous plant to get to Bodhi because Bodhi was injured.
Yeah.
And that might make the difference.
Yeah, he was avoiding the ground as best he could.
Yeah.
He embraced the plants.
Yeah.
If we simplify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
No.
No, I'm just thinking, what if there is a thing where the easiest way, I'm not saying for all the powers, but the easiest way to earn the power is to just submit to it. So actually catching on fire is the best, fastest, easiest way to get your fire powers, for example, or allowing yourself to be buried alive, or whatever it may be. And then everyone's like, no, I'm going to fight it. We've been fighting it for thousands of years.
I mean, in a way, I feel like that might make sense if you have the right attitude towards it. Because otherwise it's I'm the ruler, I went through all this. I'm going to tell my kid that, the best thing you can do is just drown for your water powers.
Yay!
But if you're doing it for that reason,
I'll
then
never
that's
teach
not
my
gonna
children
work.
swim. Sorry. Sorry, if you're
doing it for that reason, then it's not going to work.
No.
But rather, if Lid in the fire, for example, decides that I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, even if we do that, because fire is her third trial. She does metal, and then she does plant, and then very quickly after that is fire.
Yeah.
She won't have time, I think, before then, or even after fire. I don't think she'll make the connection with, I accepted it, therefore I survived and got it.
No.
So I don't think she would use it moving forward.
No. Yeah?
Yeah?
They faced it head on, yeah.
Yeah.
And think it's fine if the logic isn't super precise. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fine for the people writing it to know these things, but I'd like to think that the people in the world don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you're good with fire, then all you need is a spark. But if you're on the Antarctic, it would be extremely hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. My thinking for this, they can't create as such.
Mm-hmm. But they can draw energy from nearby and then further away.
Yeah.
Places.
And for the fire, for example, if all they need is a spark, Lid can still because she's trying in other ways to create fire first.
Mm-hmm.
And if instead of then realizing, oh, I have fire powers, here's a fire, she keeps doing that. And the moment there is a spark, because usually when you try to create fire in that way, you get sparks, but most of them don't catch on.
Yeah.
So
and then they only catch on a little, and then you have to build and stoke the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
hers will catch faster and make a bigger fire sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also have this is maybe a little far-fetched, but just a question.
Yeah.
To make fire, we can like strike a match because it's a friction thing there. You can rub sticks together and there's friction. Fire steel, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Which also like you strike a thing.
Mm.
But fire needs air, it needs something to burn, and it needs a spark. Right? This is the sciencey bit behind it. But if we magicify it, that's not a word, but yeah. I wonder if over time, Lid could build the power up to the point of like doing this. Like either I can't snap my fingers. There we go. I used the wrong finger. I snapped my ring finger. Anyway, doing that or just like rubbing her fingers together and creating a flame. Not a huge one, but like, look, I have fire. Or maybe like move that to hold it in her hand and then it's like a little bit bigger. Then it has air and it has heat to be created.
Yeah.
But it doesn't burn her.
No.
Could that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm thinking especially if she has an affinity for fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like scientifically, no, I don't think you could do that. But like if all she needs is maybe a little bit of like heat.
Exactly.
Then yeah.
Yeah. I also wanted to have make a follow-up question on the Antarctic question or the comment that AV made. If you need heat to make fire, which you do, and I mean, if she can work up to this being heat, my fingers don't exactly feel warm right now. There's still friction.
Yeah.
Even if we ignore Lid having extra special fire powers here, is there a way where, especially in the beginning of having your powers, it's easier for you to make fire in summertime and easier to make or use your water powers in winter if there's snow and stuff? Because there's more of it. There's more heat in the air. There's more moisture in the air. Could also be more moisture in summer. But there's snow on the ground and that's essentially water. And then, because the thing I also realized, and this I thought of sort of as the one day Joe Rule project will be a movie. We're going to have our sort of final battle with the ruler in winter.
Yeah.
Because they go on the trials or on the quest in fall time. And I don't think it's going to be months and months and suddenly it's summer again. And, you know.
No.
And I just feel like I don't watch a lot of fantasy. But I feel like a lot of it happens in like summer and the warm season. And we're going to have winter. Anyway, the actual question here was the summer and winter affecting what you can do with your powers. Is it more difficult to grow a plant, a tree, whatever kind of plant, in winter because the ground is less obedient, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would make sense that it would affect, like, in the same way as it affects plants in nature, for example.
Yeah.
Because in cold places,
Yeah.
the trees stop growing in the summer or in the winter. They only grow in the summer, and so using the plant powers in the winter is probably difficult because you probably need a lot more energy to do that. So
good thing Liam has an affinity for them because he's gonna start struggling.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, I love you. Sort of. If they are
I can be the type of fixer.
The element, they can for example fingers together to create heat, and from that make fire. I imagine you might be able to, with the air power, if you get comfortable enough with that, to like create a magnifying glass to like focus the sun's energy on something, so you can light something on fire that way too.
Right.
Then you have more of an affinity to air than to fire, but you can still use that to make fire.
Yeah.
With water pulling moisture from the air to water to manipulate electricity, take the electric spark from something. Most living things and a lot of other things have electricity in them.
Yeah.
And amplify it.
Yeah.
And so on.
Yeah. I want to go to comments, but before then I have a question related to this. Is there also a difference between salt water and fresh water?
I don't know.
I mean, yes, there is a difference. But
yes.
For the powers. And like with your water powers? Because we haven't written that yet, so we haven't actually explored it.
No.
But I feel like you can make ice, you can make steam, you can maybe breathe on the water, especially in combination with your air power. That's something we've talked about. Maybe it's an easy time for you to fish or like move a boat along or something. Can you purify it? Without having to boil it and steam it and, 15 steps that anyone could do.
I mean, I guess in a way, if you've practiced enough, you should be able to like have a bowl of water, contaminated water with salt or something else, and be able to I'm just gonna pull the water, and
I'll
leave all
the salt or salt and soil and stuff behind. That should be
possible, I think.
Yeah. All right, let's go to comments a bit. Moon is thinking of Avatar again, and the sun and moon strengthening different bending abilities. We have probably not gotten that far.
We have not, no.
How far into it are we?
Let's not talk about
it. Okay, good. I think it would be harder or easy depending on the seasons, but I also think once you start to master the power, the difficulty will mean less the more experience you get. Yes, I agree. Which also maybe means that some people have, in the cycle of doing the quests throughout all the years, some people have gotten advantages without knowing. Like if they're doing it in springtime and they get their plant power, maybe it's easier to learn your plant power.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I mean, I'm guessing you've gotten a different, like in the spring, yes, plants might be easier, but in the winter.
Yeah, there's different benefits throughout the season. Yeah. For beginning, it would be a challenge, but for someone more skilled, it would merely be an inconvenience.
Yeah.
That could make it unexpectedly difficult for them when they're facing the ruler. The winter thing or the...
Yeah, if they had tried to use a power they haven't used in some weeks because it wasn't so wintry.
Yep.
And Octavian is more prepared for that and has practiced with all of his powers in all of the seasons.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I like this comment from him as well. He knew about it. They might not have realized it.
No.
Yes, it might be more difficult for me to grow a tree this week than it was last week, but I might not,
Yeah. But that might also mean that Octavian is more confident, like say with plant powers, for example, that he's confident that, it's winter, you're not going to be able to do anything with your plant powers, but it turns out that Niam can.
Yeah. And they're also like...
Be safe, baby. We're looking forward to having you back too.
Bye-bye. I also heard "be safe, baby," and I was like, "Where am I going?" Also, you rarely call me baby,
Yeah,
which I'm grateful for. Yes, and then we get to decide here. Do we want that to be an element of surprise for them? The element of surprise. Do we want it to be a surprise for them when they're fighting Octavian and they realize, oh shoot, I'm having a problem with this, like growing up plant powers, for example. Or because I like that.
Yeah.
Or do we want them to figure this out maybe in the archive? And so he thinks that they don't know.
I think it would be better if it's a shock while they're fighting. For the sake of action, I think that would be...
Dark Night of the Soul.
Yes.
Something. I don't know my Save the Cat very well, but yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Avi left, but we have not seen Full Metal Alchemist.
No.
But I guess we'll add it to the research. I'll write it down in a little note here. Full Metal Alchemist. There we go. But yeah, I feel good about this. They don't have to touch things. They have an affinity for, like, you can have an affinity for it. And then I think we've concluded that Lid has an affinity for fire and he has an affinity for plants, right?
Yeah. Lid's best element is fire. Hume's best element is plant.
Because she also, like, part of her having an affinity for fire could be, like Moon said, and like we talked about, of her like giving up and accepting her fate.
Yeah.
Could it also be driven by rage? Because she thinks she lost Tev. And it's a revenge thing.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that's so, I don't feel like it should dip once she meets him again.
No.
No, but I like that. Yeah. And let's see. They get plant and fire around the same time.
Yeah.
So it's not like one has the power 2 pages in and then they start practicing and using that. I know in the current draft Liz isn't using anything. But still.
Yeah.
So that works too, I think.
Yeah.
Follow up on fire. Because like with...
It's usually ash.
With water, you can purify it, you can steam it, you can freeze it, you can, a whole bunch of things. I feel like we should also, I feel like fire shouldn't just be, here's a flame, you can make it bigger or smaller. You should also be able to procure heat. Like, I am freezing, well, I have my fire powers, I'm warmer now. Or is that a bad idea? Because otherwise fire is very one thing, whereas water is many.
I mean, I think in a way it makes sense if it's... Because, I mean, even if it's just one thing, you can still do different things with it. I mean, it's not just making it bigger or smaller. It's like you can move it around. You can manipulate the shape of it. You can use it for everything that fire can be used for. Yeah.
But with your water power, you can find water and quench your thirst.
Yeah.
Find, purify, whatever, and quench your thirst. But with fire, you couldn't warm yourself unless you make a fire.
Yeah. I don't know, because I don't think of fire and heat as the same thing.
Not even if we let her make fire by doing that. Which is heat.
No, because then she is creating the heat.
Okay.
Is my thinking. Unless she's powerful enough to manipulate the sun, but I don't think that we should make her that powerful.
Why not? I think it sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Why?
No, I also just realized that her non-elemental power is
Mhm.
healing,
Mm-hmm.
and we said that fire is metaphorically connected to healing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for him.
No, but it works for her, and that's good enough.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But you don't have to be near them, or you don't have to touch them, but you have to be near them, and over time, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
They can sort of create the elements, but not really.
Like not from thin air, but they can.
Yeah. And there's some seasonal affecting going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Moving on then.
Yes.
This.
Yes.
Bodhi gets stung by a scorpion.
Yes.
And then Nia was talking about that bug.
Yes.
And then I was like, wait a second. Scorpions are not bugs. Turns out scorpions are arachnids. We have said there are no spiders in this world. Does that extend to other arachnids? Because in that case, he has to be stung or bitten by something else.
Yes.
Or it was just a bit like a dragon suddenly appears out of nowhere. A scorpion was just magically formed.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool that it is a scorpion. I think that is an interesting angle.
Mm.
I almost an element, but I stopped myself.
The element of scorpion.
Ew, no. Gross, scary. But if we're doing no spiders and no arachnids, we can't have a scorpion.
I mean, we only said no spiders. We didn't say no arachnids.
No. I also don't think we're making a huge deal in world of there being no spiders.
No.
So.
And yeah, I like that it's a scorpion.
Mm.
I tried to, like, when you said that, I was trying to, like, okay, but what else could it be?
Mm.
And I'm like, I don't want it to be a snake.
No, they get a bad rep everywhere.
Yeah. And yeah, I feel like scorpions are creepy enough, but they're not quite as creepy as spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go ahead and Google any, but yeah.
Scorpions
Also,
are ultraviolet.
Excuse me?
They glow in ultraviolet light. Maybe
Sure.
not all scorpions, but at
Because
least
that's
some
a thing
scorpions
they
do.
need.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fine there are scorpions.
Yeah.
There's not a huge deal that there are no spiders because the world would never think, wow, there are no spiders at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So it can be a scorpion. Yes. Well played.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, ow. No one heard that, but that was my back/hip. That went plop. It does that sometimes. Probably
When-
when... sit so well on chairs.
Yes. When did the shapeshifters get banished?
Not yesterday.
No. Because we noted that we have had slightly different ideas of when that happened.
Yeah.
Because in Liv's story, she was wondering, like, was this shapeshifter that I'm just meeting alive when the rest of them were banished?
Yeah.
And I've been thinking that it happened like 200 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's still in there. But when I wrote originally the legend about El Rey, which is the person who was looking for the lost shard,
Mm-hmm.
it was a commoner who had powers, who went on the quest and like managed and became a legend and was like, people now know about her, like, oh, she
Trick the gods.
she tricked the gods and she stole powers and all of that.
Mm.
Originally, when I wrote about her, I wrote that she was in league with shapeshifters, and my thinking was that it was around there that shapeshifters were banished because they supported her.
Yeah. And that happened.
That happened about 200 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And of course, we don't have to go with that, but we need to decide when they were banished so that we are on the same page.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like it can be 200 years. I don't want it to be too recently.
No.
We already have Lid's human mom who left recently in relation to them. So I think 200 years is entirely fair. And 200 years is also enough time, I think, for it to become, for rumors and legends and speculation to like take root as well. 200 years is, I mean, if say people have kids every 30 years, like you have kids when you're 30, then I can't do math because of that. But it's a few generations since they left. And so my great grandparents might have been neighbors with them, but sort of. Yeah, I feel like at the very least, I think it would be best if there was no one alive now who has ever met a shapeshifter. That I know of. Yeah. So, yeah. But I do want it to be the little fishing village that I made into a city, where the shapeshifters trade. I would like for that to have always during this time been a trading place. Because they didn't care. They didn't care about shapeshifters. Sounds wrong. They weren't afraid of them. They knew them. But that's also far enough away from the capital for people to not have noticed. But we can say it's 200 years. But it doesn't have to be 200 exactly. It can be 192 or something. Do we also say that it was in relation to El Rey, or do we not care about that at the moment? We can say it's in relation. Yeah, she was being an example of all shapeshifters were banished. Or killed or something. Were they banished, or was it genocide and they fled? I guess I've actually been kind of thinking that they had to flee. That there was we're gonna kill all the shapeshifters and they ran away. So not so much banished as that's a word. Yes. Yep. And then as many as possible left. Question. Because there are now being Lid and Miam's lifetime, there are rumors and speculation about how you can spot a shapeshifter when they're in their human form, right? And possibly how you can spot them in their animal form too, but that is all speculation. It's not true. It's the whole purple eyes thing. Was there a system back then? Because we could make this a big thing. We can make this a much bigger thing than it is. That we don't have to. But I'm thinking if it's like, but shapeshifters always have a birthmark on their cheek, and then everyone who had a birthmark on their cheek were suddenly suspected, or something way worse, or way more common, or way less common, or it could be whatever. But like physical traits that, hey, this means. We don't have to do anything with it. It was the thought I had. And they could be different things that made you a shapeshifter back then than it is now. I doubt people actually had purple eyes back then, for example. But or it could just be that they used something back then that they also use now, but people mostly speculate on, like, if we do birthmark on the cheek, hey, you're my best friend, you have a birthmark on your cheek, and are you sure you're not a shapeshifter? Like, more that than actual persecution. In addition to 200 years being long enough for history to turn to legend, it's also long enough for cultures to diverge and new traditions to develop.
Yes, I don't feel like we need to
No.
make this a bigger thing than this.
No.
We already have a bunch of other things that are big.
Yep.
But yeah, shapeshifters were driven off the mainland about 200 years ago, and it was probably like it wasn't this person has been defeated and killed. Now, in the next week, we kill all the shapeshifters. But it was probably a like longer witch hunt.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know if genocided is a word, but Google Docs is not complaining about it.
For once.
So now it's a word.
Yeah.
I'm glad you specified what was useful.
Yes. Great. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So next question is still about shapeshifters. Because here again we had written some very different things.
Yep.
The mentioning that I do of shapeshifters in Niam's story is that there are like, don't go into the forest because bandits and shapeshifters live there and they are going to eat you, more or less. And what I haven't added in yet, but I will add in like some like, well, I have added in Niam is called a purple eye at some point.
Yeah.
Which is not clear that it's
No.
the shapeshifter thing. But I'm also going to add in some like offhanded comments that Niam makes just because it's a thing you say, something is weird, this is shapeshifter sorcery, and things like that. But that's the level it's at in my side of the story, where like it's something you know what it is, but it's a legend and it's urban legend kind of thing. Whereas what you've written in Lid's story is that there are actual like sightings and there's propaganda about there are shapeshifters going around murdering people, be on your guard, and stuff like that.
Which I feel is a bit like bandits and shapeshifters, to be fair, but
a bit, but that is like what I've been thinking when I have been writing is that
it's an old saying that's just kind of stuck around.
Yeah, kinda. Like there are monsters in the woods. There are trolls, like those kinds of things, and not be on your guard in the city because there's a shapeshifter going around murdering people.
Okay, yeah, fair. I'm willing to change that, but we have also said there is this sort of underground network of shapeshifters.
Yeah.
And Moon is asking, could there be an increase in concern about it? I'm trying to pull up the comment. My cursor won't let me. There we go. Nope. I can put you in timeout. Yes. I mean, again, the people in the coastal city, fishing town, whatever, know about shapeshifters, but they know that they conduct trade with shapeshifters living in the archipelago.
Yeah.
Archipelago. But I don't think they know there are shapeshifters still on land. And I'm also wondering if the shapeshifters who do live on the mainland never left or if they came back.
Yeah.
But that's a different story. Like, if they came back, then it wasn't, I know that you are a shapeshifter. They weren't accused of it, but they fled because they were scared and then they came, like, yeah. But I'm wondering if, like Moon was saying about the increase in concern and the general unrest, I'm also just wondering, like, because the general unrest could go both ways. It could be people in general are, like humans, people in general are upset because of something. It was a bad crop year, the church is taxing them more, Octavia has been, burning a few too many people alive now, it's getting a little out of hand. Or it could be that the shapeshifters who do live on the mainland have something has happened to them specifically, even if they're not being targeted because people know they're there, but somehow they're being affected. And I feel like if there is a secret underground rebellion group of shapeshifters, they could always be one or two people who sort of break out of this is the plan, and they go ahead and they do something stupid, and that attracts attention, and like then people know, sort of.
I think I lost the thread somewhere there.
Yeah, I think I did too. Basically, if there is an underground group of shapeshifters, like there are, something's happening, they aren't happy, the ruler is stupid, a few people break out of the undergroundness of it and decide to attack the guards, set the market on fire, I don't know, do something. And then are seized, and it's made clear that they are shapeshifters. And then people are like, there are shapeshifters among us. Scary.
Yeah. I think, okay, a different question that's related. How many shapeshifters are there on the mainland, and what do they, like, because I think that's also a discrepancy in our view of them.
Yeah.
What are they doing there? Because I've been thinking that they're just kind of, they live there, they live in hiding, they don't draw attention to themselves. Whereas you have been thinking that they are actually plotting something or organizing a rebellion kind of thing.
I mean, I believe that they are hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
That is the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not like
actually underground.
Yeah, hiding in the forest or anything.
No.
But they're living.
They are the baker. They are the archivists. But they're behaving like normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It also depends a bit, because we could also escalate that throughout. I'm thinking if initially it's what you're saying, it's the old saying of be wary in the woods, and this is strange, so it must be shapeshifter. Those all old sayings. But since we've also said that Lyd is going to be a champion for the shapeshifters, like she's going to be a leader, she's going to be trusted, she's going to be rallying, you know, that is something that could change. Like, then it's pretty far into the story, granted. But if, basically, when she is in Norport and she is shot down and she is outed as, because already then she's outed as a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
She's outed as a shapeshifter among the guards. Guards talk to other guards. You hear it in the marketplace. You tell your wife. Like, it starts spreading. It will reach the hidden shapeshifters, and Mir is also one who actually meets Lyd and gets an opinion of her straight away. It's not just like rumors. And I feel like that could be a turning point. Lyd was sighted, so people now know there is at least a shapeshifter. That gives the shapeshifters, or some of them, hope. And then they start rallying is the wrong word, but like gathering and thinking and talking and planning and, you know. And from there we have the thing that Moon as well said. Some people break out, some people do something stupid. They realize, they being the garden people, realize that, oh no, oh shoot, it's not just one person, there are more. And this will be good for the story and, you know, growing that, but it will be bad for shapeshifters. Because now maybe old practices will be put into place, or like, you know, I think that would be really, really good. Really interesting. But then it won't happen until later. Because in the first draft, I wrote Lyd for now, no. I wrote Lyd in Norport, meeting Nier, getting shot down from the sky, leaving for the lightning trial, coming back, and then there were shapeshifters calling out for her, to her. telepathically.
Mm.
Before then, she had known nothing. She knew Nier was shapeshifter, but that was it.
Yeah.
And I think Nier in that draft said something about us, we shapeshifters, sort of. Now I've written Nier lived in a shop down, meeting Nier, leaving for the lightning trial, and that's where it's ended.
Mm.
And then she meets or is found by Niam, and he will then bring her back eventually to Northport, I assume.
Yeah.
So that part, like, I'm thinking between Lid between Lid being shot down and coming back to Northport,
Yeah.
unrest has started happening.
Yeah.
Maybe there haven't yet been the hot-headed young stupid shapeshifters, they could also be old, doing something bad, but there is already a bit of a gathering.
Yeah.
Like, we're here.
Yeah.
And I'm also wondering how many shapeshifters already know. I feel like they should know about each other.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm really excited about that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but then
We'll go back through comments. Let's just mark it.
Yeah.
Just let Marcus write.
at the beginning of the story, shapeshifters are just legend and urban legend.
Yeah, myths.
Those are just urban legends and myth. Some people believe in them, some don't. Beautiful, yes. When Lid is sighted in Northport, rumors start going around. Humans get scared. That shapeshifters
Shapeshifters. Oh no.
are
Sheep
around.
calling.
But shapeshifters get scared that
They'll get hurt.
humans will find out about them and hurt them. Yeah.
Oh, you forgot that. You didn't write the A.
I'm so sorry. So when Lid, Liam, and Tev get back to Northport, unrest has started. Shapeshifter propaganda
Yeah.
is going on. And
there is a community, like
the shapeshifters have started to like discuss the future, if nothing else.
Yeah. And also put a lot of hope and faith in Lid.
Yeah.
If you die, we'll possibly never have another shapeshifter era ever again. So no
I'm thinking there are probably like factions that are shapeshifters are like, oh, this might mean we have hope. Maybe we'll be able to live openly in the future. And then there are others who are just like, this just means that there's a tension on us.
We should kill her. We should do it.
Maybe. And like, let's just keep low.
Yeah.
She's gonna die. She doesn't stand a chance. Let's not get our hopes up.
Yeah. Is there sort of a council? Because I picture that like different elders, if you will, like from the shapeshifter community, or like prominent people in different, like an archivist, and then we have a baker, and like, because I don't know if they've knowingly put themselves in positions of finding out stuff. That would be interesting though if they had. But basically, we have this divide of people. Maybe they're also since the shapeshifters have just been trying to hide for the past 200 years. I don't know if they do have a council or something. No. But it would be interesting if they did, and in that we have these factions, and we have this big meeting somehow, somewhere. They rent a church, I don't know. And then, speaking up, and some of them gives her hope, and some of them just give her dread, and like, I think it would be really interesting to do that.
I mean, I feel like that can be done like even without a council, because again, that depends a little bit on how many they are.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that even if they don't have an official council,
Yeah.
they know each other and they like have family gatherings and like all of that.
Yeah.
And it could potentially be okay, let's just all the heads of all the families get together and discuss the issue.
Yeah. And meanwhile, we have Lyd, who just had her arm amputated, trying to recover from infection, not really following along, and Tev trying to calm her down. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Let's go to the comments real quick before we get further sucked into this, but I really, really like this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but this will be in the second half.
Yes.
Adversity sometimes brings out the worst in people, as I'm sure you've noticed.
Yes.
Are there actual murdery shapeshifter gangs in the city? I don't think so.
No.
But I think it's also possible to blame a lot of crime and things on, well, it's probably a shapeshifter.
I mean, especially after this, everything bad that happens after Lyd decided is probably because of shapeshifters.
Yeah. Also related to her signing, because I said that she will be seen by the priest, or whatever we call them, and the guards, and then it will spread.
Mm-hmm.
She also shifts on the steps of the temple.
Yeah.
Normal people will see her.
Yeah.
And they will have noticed, why are the guards gathering here?
Yeah.
And then she comes out and she shifts, and then the public knows instantly as well.
Yeah.
Or are people just blaming shapeshifters for general increase in crime? Yeah. Basically. I think so.
Yeah. I think we can jump a little bit because a lot of this is...
Okay. I did like hearing people agreeing with me. Hello, lady. Welcome back.
Yes.
And I can't help but think about the way certain minorities historically have been pushed to the side, ignored, and encouraged to stay unnoticed. Yeah. I mean, I'm making the same parallels.
Yeah.
I think it's impossible not to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They can definitely change into alpacas.
Definitely.
I don't think there are alpacas in this world. Not
No.
around there anyway.
I also just we talked about, a gathering of shapeshifters and they're starting to unionize, for lack of a better word. And, and I'm thinking, okay, we are a group of shapeshifters. We're going to overthrow these guards. We need to, control the city. I don't know. Okay. Fangs and claws and stuff is useful to, attack in our shapeshifty forms.
Mm-hmm.
We could just stampede them.
Yeah.
We also have a saying in Swedish, which is sheep brain, which is basically a word for someone who's not very smart. But if you have a whole gang of sheep, or flock, that's the word. It's great. Yes. They would definitely have elders to listen to, but it wouldn't be a council meeting for the people in charge. True.
Mm-hmm.
But a variety of voices being listened to, though individuals might give more weight to the opinion of people they know that are smarter, more experienced, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but also, I mean, it would make sense given how the shapeshifter archipelago is run, but functions. And yes, they were banished there, and yes, they had to start over. And when they were on the mainland, they did live under the ruler's rule.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still possible that the same customs... I mean, the society on the mainland could have gone, in these 200 years, could have gone from bartering to money.
Yeah.
And so shapeshifters who fled to the archipelago continued with bartering. And there could still be bartering and trade and stuff going on with the shapeshifters on the mainland as well.
Yeah.
Which I think was relevant somehow.
Yes.
Have either of you read The Witch King by H.E. Edgman? H.E. Edgman. There's a witch subculture within the ruling fake culture, and they have meetings, but they're not formal or hierarchical. Whatever. Hierarchies, no. No hierarchies. No, have not read it.
No, me neither. But yeah.
No. I really like this though.
Yeah.
I really like this.
Yeah.
the book's gonna be way too long.
No.
Ah. Okay.
It's going to be exactly as long as it needs to be.
Yes. Not a word or phrase more or less.
Hmm.
But okay. So it's not common knowledge is the answer to the actual question.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And just to ask that question fully, also the light is so weird outside. Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out if it was still raining. Might be.
I asked if the shapeshifters have put themselves in important positions in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Or in Northport, at least. I don't think they have.
No.
But I do think that if you've been here for a long time, you've been here for generations, your parents have always been bakers, you were a baker,
Yeah.
you network with humans as well, which will also be beneficial in some ways when it comes to rallying the people. Well, I've always bought my bread from you, of course I trust you. I don't think all humans will turn against the 15 shapeshifters.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
But I also don't think all humans will be like, oh, my baker is a shapeshifter. I'm gonna keep...
No.
Yeah.
Keep buying your bread. How many shapeshifters are there, though? Is that something we should figure out on this question? Because it's not a question we have further on.
Yeah. First of all, I need to write down The Witch King as a book.
I can write it down for here.
Thank you.
The Witch King H.E. Edgeman.
Because Transboy MC, Very Enticing Fate Prince, Delightful World Building sounds...
possibly up your alley.
Yeah.
And you read Cemetery Boys and you liked it. You didn't love it.
Yeah. No.
But you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. How many shapeshifters are there? And not, exactly, but... I mean, I'm yeah. I'm thinking like a few families, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like no more than 50 people in Northport, at least.
Yeah, because they don't just exist in Northport.
No.
But they probably have the most connection with the other shapeshifters in Northport.
Yeah.
Even if there are ones other places in the world or in the country too.
I mean, I think we said that there were going to be some in Ellisy as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also had a thought of eventually we'll have Lid's parents come to the capital.
Mm.
We think. It's a great thing that word can start spreading through the country as well, and then someone goes to the fishing town and hitches a ride and finds Sal, and then it spreads that way. We won't see it.
No.
But it'll be interesting.
Sorry, Northport is the city
on the East Coast.
Yes.
It's behind this thing somewhere.
Yes. Well, Landville. Why am I not logged in?
I don't know.
And wrong world. And map. And view. Okay, here we are. This is Northport.
Yeah.
So that's the city where they meet the shapeshifter archivist.
Yeah, near.
After Inferno Valley.
Yeah.
This is the trading settlement that we disagreed on size on.
Yes. So the fishing village and Northport are not the same place.
No.
For clarity.
No. Northport is an actual city or town.
Yeah.
Close to where Shardmere was.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Are you counting on the shapeshifter uprising to save them or put Lid in power? I mean, it's going to help for sure. They will have more manpower behind them, if nothing else.
I mean, again, that depends. Like, if we want them to play a bigger role, I assume this is what Moon is getting at. If we want them to play a bigger role, there needs to be more of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also had a thought of like, I understand the shapeshifters on the mainland have lived in hiding.
Yeah.
But like, you live in hiding, you don't use your powers. Are you comfortable marrying and having children, which you can't, with humans? Or do you also marry within your, like, do shapeshifters marry other shapeshifters?
I'm assuming that shapeshifters mostly marry other shapeshifters.
Because I'm thinking if there are only 50 people, you will have inbreeding. Or if it's only a handful of families. Then, I mean, I guess you could move. Someone could move from Northport to the capital to, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think that also depends on, like, the fewer there are, the more controlled it needs to be who marries who.
Mm-hmm.
And there has to be a, like, okay, you two are far enough from each other that it's okay that you marry. You get married, have babies.
Yes, so we don't have arranged marriage here, we have forced marriage. Sounds great.
No.
No.
But yeah.
Could be mainland tradition among shapeshifters that they go traveling to other places specifically to get to know other shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we think back, I know this is fantasy, but if we think back historically, how much do people move around? A lot of people never left their vicinity their entire life.
No. I mean, people generally got married to, like, the
boy next door.
Yeah, like the other farm.
Yeah, to have a bigger farm.
Yeah.
We don't have to go with that. We could definitely have travel, but just a thought.
And I feel like it also depends a little bit, like, how there could be 50 shapeshifters in Northport, and then there could be 60 shapeshifters in LSE because LSE is bigger.
Yeah.
And then there could be 100 shapeshifters spread around the rest of the mainland.
Yeah.
With, like, where, like, some of them live in cities, but some of them don't.
Yeah.
And they either, like, okay, I live in this little forest over here. I'm mostly in animal forms because it's easier to survive that way or something. And
true.
If Dom and Rin, who Niam meets, are shapeshifters, for example. So it could be that there are a limited amount of shapeshifters living in cities, which I think it would also make sense if shapeshifters actually mostly did not live in cities, because it would be easier for them to hide on the countryside.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Fair enough, yeah. Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
So going back to answering the actual question, couple hundred on the entire mainland. Does that make sense?
I mean, if we go with 50-ish in Northport, about the same in LSE, and then maybe 200 or so more on the countryside.
Yeah. Sure. And for comparison, how many humans are there, and also how many people are there in the archipelago?
It's a good question. Okay, so then we go on, like, decent-sized town in a medieval-ish setting. I mean, 10,000 is a huge city in that, like, maybe in LSE there could be upwards towards 10,000.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And I was then thinking Northport is like 5,000 or is it 7,000 or?
I don't know.
No. No, I'm just Googling a thing to see.
I usually Google population of London in different years.
Oh, I Googled Denmark actually in the 1300s.
Okay. I tend to do London because that has always been a pretty big city, so that's like at the very, very top of how big a city could be in the specific.
In London, in the year 1300, which is approximate, London had about 80,000 inhabitants. And do you then mean that the entire country would have 80,000? Is that what you mean? Or that LSE wouldn't be larger than 80?
I just, as a general thing, London is what I go for. Like, if I need to decide the size of a city, I'm like, okay, do I want it to be? Yeah. I don't know, but definitely no more than 80,000. 80,000, I think, is a lot.
For the whole country? No.
LSE is what I'm thinking now.
Yeah. I mean, you said 10,000 before.
I know. Yes.
Yeah. Well, is it possible to say there's 100,000 people on the entire continent?
Probably.
Yeah. Sorry. So if we say 100,000 people on the entire continent, the mainland, and then we say it's about 300 people who are shapeshifters. 300 divided by 100,000. It is 0.003%.
Yeah.
Which I guess could work. I mean, we don't want them to be evenly matched.
No.
And then if there are 300 shapeshifters on the mainland, how many are in the archipelago? That could have grown to a couple thousand. Yeah, I mean... Because, also, if it's only 300 people left on the mainland, it's 200 years after the banishing. It is... people have died, people are also reproduced, probably. But in the archipelago, they have lived without fear. It's a bit strong, but like... Plus... Okay, how much do people... reproduce? No, but like, how was it? Like 50 shapeshifters left behind or who stayed in the entire country, and now after 200 years it's grown to 300, so they have multiplied at a speed of 6. I don't know. Because if 4,000 shapeshifters fled with the same or possibly even a higher population growth, they could be 10,000. I'm not mathing this correctly, but you get where I'm coming from. Yeah. No, 0.003%. Unless I'm doing the math very wrong. 300 divided by 10,000. Dela genom det hela. Yes. 0.003. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think that's right. I think Moon is also making a good point that, like, there will be, if there are 300 shapeshifters, maybe 50 of them are, both interested in and capable. Yes. Yeah. Fair. Meaning we should make them a bigger number, or no? Also, apparently I have to do it times 100 for some reason that I didn't know about. This is why I didn't do well in math, is it? So 0.3% of the population is shapeshifters or are shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Well, math. Thank you. Can you then also figure out the math? If 50 shapeshifters were left behind, and now there are 300 of them 200 years later, how many percentages have they increased?
I mean, 300 is
6 times.
6 times.
Yeah. So 600%.
Yes. I mean, we don't really have to figure out the math. But the question is, do we want there to be more shapeshifters so they can be a more formidable force?
It would be nice.
Yeah.
50 people does not sound very. I mean, that's less than the number of guards in Norport, I imagine.
Yeah.
Like,
and I also like if we think that there are about 100 shapeshifters in cities and only twice that outside of cities.
It doesn't really make sense.
Maybe that's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
If we say there are 500, 1,000, what?
In the countryside?
Yeah.
Say 1,000.
Hello,
Violet. We're doing math.
Hello. Welcome to the math.
Yeah, you get a few hundred to help you.
Yeah. We're trying to figure out how many shapeshifters and people there are in general in places.
Mm. So, just to, I know you said no math, but if we now have 1,100 countryside and Norport, we divide that by 100,000, then we do it times 100. 1.1% of the mainland population is made up of shapeshifters.
Does that seem reasonable?
I have no idea, but
let's say it's reasonable. It's fine.
Very reasonable.
It's good. Mm. We also don't have to there doesn't have to be a census
list of all the names. No.
Yes, and 100,000 humans on the entire continent, meaning I'm trying to figure out how many.
I mean, if we say it's 1,000 people in the country, or 1,000 shapeshifters in the countryside,
mm-hmm.
and 100 split between Norport and LSE,
mm-hmm.
should we say it's 10,000? I mean, we could say it's 5,000 Norport, 5,000 LSE, or maybe 8 and 3, or like 8 and 3 is 10, by the way. And then it could be many in the countryside.
I'm Googling in Swedish, I apologize for that, but I'm going to try to figure out how many people, roughly.
It's 9% of the shapeshifters live in cities. With the math we've done now.
That is not what I needed.
I mean, I'm thinking if we put 10,000 people in LSE, 750, then 7,500 in Norport, then we have 82,500 in the smaller cities or countryside.
In medieval times, 90% of the population of Sweden were farmers.
Mm.
Meaning, in this case, there should be 10,000 people in cities.
Mm.
If we go with that.
Yeah.
In which case, I would kind of like to say 5,000 in LSE, 3,000 in Norport, and the rest scattered in other cities.
Yeah. Sure. .9 people.
Yes. Ish in Norport, 2,000.
Yes, the capital is named LSE.
Yes.
And then we have Norport, and those are the only main cities we're working with. No, but they're the only place I care about. Shardmere was the old capital, and that's the arrow in the water.
Yes. Norport is here. this is where Shardmere was. This is LSE, the capital, and here is a smaller town called Braden, where Annery lives.
Yeah.
Who is Niam's friend.
Yeah.
Other towns.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure. Cool.
Yeah. 1.1% of the population on the mainland is shapeshifters.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I would like to know an approximation of how many shapeshifters are on the in the archipelago. Okay, go get more water. Type that out.
I'm done typing it out.
I still want water.
Yes. In the archipelago. Archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yes.
Huh. Look at my dress. Isn't it pretty? I like my dress. It's so pretty.
It's very pretty.
Thank you.
I don't know. 2,000, 3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also but just in the archipelago, they don't all live on the same island because that's not how an archipelago works.
Mm-hmm.
But they all had contact with each other.
Yeah.
It's loud. I'm sorry. Because I'm wondering, like, I can imagine Liv standing in Norfolk going, like, this is more people than I've ever seen in one place.
Yeah.
But then it has to be that way. They can't have been a big party with all the shapeshifters in this pandemic world.
Yes. And true. That would mean that there are almost as many on the archipelago than as there is on the mainland. Maybe there should be a significantly larger number of shapeshifters on the archipelago.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't want to say that they've thrived because they can have had their own hardship as well.
Yeah.
But maybe they dared to reproduce a bit more than shapeshifters on the mainland.
Yeah. Should we say like 10,000?
Yeah.
In the archipelago?
Yeah.
And there are 10 times as many.
Yeah.
AB is also suggesting 10,000.
Great number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. About 10,000. And spread out villages but no towns.
Yeah. I think so.
Maybe like yeah. No,
Yeah.
But
It works for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay then. Good?
Yeah.
Temples. They can't have children at all.
No, we decided that shapeshifters and humans can't have children together.
Yeah.
So if they marry humans, they don't have children.
Yeah.
I mean, they can adopt.
Yeah, but not biological.
No.
Timboots. Another thing we've described differently.
Yes. I mean, I never included in this draft Niam being in a temple, but we've had very different visions of what the temples do look like.
Yeah.
Mine
had parallels with some modern day, current time, our world churches.
Big stained glass windows and
pews and stuff.
Gold and
yeah.
Yeah.
And you imagined or envisioned?
Yeah, when I wrote them as quite dark. But they definitely don't have to be.
No.
And I mean, they should fit a bunch of people in them since everyone is supposed to go to temple.
Yeah.
And
I feel like, I mean, depending on what kind of tactic you want to use here, not you personally, but the religion, it should feel welcoming And then to me, dark is not welcome. It should be light. It should be open. It should but that's based on my experiences and my preferences in real
What do you like in a church?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. It should be pretty.
Yeah.
And
so what I wrote was I had a church or temple. I also don't know why I had the thing between the two doors. I'm going to remove that, I think. But the door opened up and you were in this big open space, but it was divided into smaller sections, one for each god, which doesn't really work if you want to get as many people as possible in that have like a sermon. Because I don't want everyone to see you.
I mean, I'm thinking I would like to draw something that everyone can see.
Paint.
Yeah, but I'm only sharing Chrome. Yeah, but
giving you prompts.
I don't want to. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to just draw something. Sketch. Thank you. Okay, I can draw there. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. That's fine. Yes, because I'm thinking something similar to what Moon just said.
But did we say those were going to be outside? It's also a thought I had. So you could come to temple and give your offerings without there being a sermon or without having to go in. Doesn't work for Lid's thing, so please don't. But
yeah, I mean that is I originally wrote it like that.
Yeah.
But if we're thinking, here's a church
viewed from the ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like there are pews like this. Very pretty.
Yeah.
And then like either like, and up here is where the priests are standing and holding a sermon. And then like maybe to the side is a small alcove.
Yeah. How do you pronounce that?
I have no idea.
I say alcove.
Alcove.
I don't know if I've ever
thingy.
Yeah. For each god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like when there are sermons, then everyone sits here, and then maybe there's a thing with like when you go out, you go past each of these two. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
That works, yeah.
I mean, there could be things outside as well, but maybe the priests would rather you come into the church.
Yeah.
To do the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like and you're expected to bring something, an offering or something, to the sermon, to the thing you go to every week.
Yeah.
But if you want to do an extra one outside, you have the option to.
As an outside the temple,
either physically outside or a different time outside of the sermon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking what Moon says, that the priest would rather you came in. That gives them more control. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's a case of like you besides sermons, you can come in and you can give offerings to each god.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking that like you go in here and then you go like round and then you go out there.
Yeah, 2 doors.
Yes.
That's a scandalous thing. Lid knocks on the wrong door and they're like, oh.
Yep.
Which also means when she's in there, they could be other people. It could be other people there to give their offerings.
Yeah.
Yeah. More chances for her to be seen. I like it.
Yes.
Mm. And there's always a priest in the church.
At least one.
Yeah, there's always someone working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should see this picture somewhere.
Yeah, I will.
The arrows are important.
Yes.
See picture.
Large. Use. Alcoves with altars to each god on the left-hand wall. What about like the stained glass windows and treasures and all of that?
What did you say after stained glass windows?
Treasures.
Treasures. I heard pressures.
Yes, there's a lot of pressure in there.
I mean, it doesn't have to be stained glass windows. But I do think there should be windows. I think there should be natural light coming in.
Yeah.
We're just trying to artificially light this place with just candles is going to be difficult.
Yes. Not going to be able to breathe in there.
That too, sure.
I mean, if there's too much fire in there, there will be no oxygen left for people.
No. Yes. Windows good. Breathing
Yes.
also good.
Yes.
So large windows.
I mean, I do kind of like if there are stained glass windows in here, like here's like, and this is a stained glass window that is all like green and plants and flowers and stuff, and then here's a fire one and so on.
I like that, and then maybe normal windows on the other side.
Yeah.
Just for pure light.
Yeah. Stained glass windows in the alcoves in the element of the thing.
God. Alcove.
Altar. Yeah.
Sure.
Large, normal, but then I'm thinking probably not I'm thinking like frosted or like not, you can see straight through them. Partially because that's so difficult to make without like,
with the technology that they probably have.
Yeah.
Unlike stained glass windows, which is so easy.
Well, yeah, because then you just need to make like a small piece of here's
fair. Okay, yeah.
Windows on the other side for natural.
And then obviously at nighttime they'd be lighted with candles and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
how long have people been making stained glass? That is a good question.
Thousands of years. So we're fine.
Yeah, cool.
Beginning with the ancient Romans and Egyptians who produced small objects made from colored glass. Stained glass windows came to Britain. Our stained glass windows in Britain can be traced back to the 7th century.
Cool.
So we're fine.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
And then we have the altars and we have the pews. The priest stands on some sort of little stage pulpit thing.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking that maybe like I'm gonna change the color a little bit. And aren't I fancy?
Yes.
Like this is a sort of raised thing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of churches, Christian churches look, at least, and like whoever is holding the sermon is standing here, and then maybe there are others like sitting or standing behind and stuff.
Follow-up question. If we have 3,000 people in Norport, how many churches?
Do we need to know that?
Well, it depends if we're going to try to squeeze 3,000 people into this. It's going to be huge if everyone's supposed to come to the same sermon.
I don't think everyone needs to come to the same one.
Okay, just one a week. And then there's a little guy at the exit with like a census every week, and like, oh yes, Steve is here. Yes, Bob is here.
No, I was thinking that there doesn't have to be just one temple in Norport.
Okay, but the sermon is always on Saturdays at noon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe there is a sermon every day as well, but like there is an important one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely thinking there's more than one temple in at least Norport and Elysee.
Yeah, but I do also think that there's somehow. I mean, we don't get to see that with Litanium, but there is some sort of keeping track of when was Steve last here.
I mean, I'm thinking that is probably more a like community thing.
Peer pressure.
Yeah,
Okay.
like if you've noticed that your neighbor hasn't been to the temple in a while, you're gonna question and like it. I think it doesn't have to be official. Like you sign in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. Cool.
Also, I'm very sorry. Life is hard.
Yes. And I feel like those Cheerios are very rude.
Yes. Hello, Eve.
Hello, Eve.
Welcome.
Yes. Okay, I think that's probably what we need to know.
We didn't talk about outside.
Outside, yes, right.
We did say inside and out.
Yes. Yeah, and outside, I was mostly thinking, like, what are they made of? What's the material?
Are they always yellow? Like, stuff like that could be good to know.
Yeah. And my thought there is that they're probably made of stone, because sturdy and looks important and big and stuff.
Important and big, yes.
Yeah. And we did say that the stone around here was sort of orangey in color.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Huh.
And we said that because we planned the colors of the priests' robes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of them had to be...
Sorry, I did not pay attention to what you said about the robes. Sorry.
We were planning the colors of the robes of the priests.
Yeah.
And rock had to be orange because we'd used all the others, and therefore we said that... Oh, ground. And therefore we said that rock around here was...
There, I saw orange right there. Oh, stop.
Yeah, no, that wasn't...
No. Okay, that was the map. Sorry.
Robe. That does not exist there. Robe. There. Earth orange.
Right, because we had we had different priests for each elemental as well.
Yeah.
For each element. Okay. But did the ropes have to be tied to the actual rock outside?
No, but that we said that rocks have an orangey tinge, which means that the rocks that the churches are made of are probably that kind of rock. So they're kind of orangey.
I'm still not sure I follow. I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand why it's important.
Well, we were talking about what the churches looked like on the outside.
Yes, and you want them to be orange because rock is orange.
I said that they're probably made of rock, which means since rock is orange, they are orange.
So is orange rock like the islands? Has red rocks, orange rocks. Okay, it's not like bright orange.
No.
Okay, but the robes might be.
Yes.
Sure. Carry on. Enjoy. They might be painted orange, which is also...
I didn't mean they would be painted orange.
No, you meant they're made of orange rock.
Yes.
And now we're talking all of the temples, not just Norport.
Yes.
And
at least the like large ones that someone bothered to make out of stone.
what are the other buildings made of in the city? Are they mostly wooden? Because then it stands out. If many buildings nearby are also orange, I feel like there should maybe be something more distinguishing. I mean, stained glass windows are pretty. Yeah.
I mean, I also imagine the temple is larger than anything else, but I also was thinking that most of the buildings would otherwise be made out of wood.
Okay.
And like
Then they
important buildings are made of stone.
Yeah. Orange stone outside looks great.
Made of stone. Orangey. That's what stones look like.
Really?
Large.
Yes, has to fit many people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other stone buildings might be made of grey rock, orange just being reserved for religious stuff.
Maybe. Depends on how many different
rock types they have.
Because we did say that orange or that stones rock in general around here was orangey, which might mean that.
Which might mean. Okay.
Yes, might mean that the temples are actually not made of orange rock. They are made out of
white rock.
Yeah.
To be, because that can only be found in the southeast corner of, and then it's fancier and.
Yeah, because I think I said, at least in some version of Neum's Grand Trial, that limestone existed in the south.
Yeah.
So it might be that churches are actually made out of limestone.
Yeah, limestone. I just want to see it.
That's white.
Gotland
is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. How large is large? We did say there are about 3,000 people in this city, and there are going to be more than one. There's going to be more than one temple in the city.
Yeah.
But at least big enough to house a couple but like sit a couple hundred people. I want to say. I have not measured people. Enough to fit a couple hundred people comfortably.
But also how tall?
Big. It is large and also big tall.
Big tall. I mean, we don't have to sit, but I think like it probably towers over everything else. Like.
Yeah. If most other buildings are maybe 2 stories, this could be 4, and that's big enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to like buildings around here to visualize, because I don't visualize very well. But yes, big tall is the most specific ever.
Yes, large and big tall. That's what I'm looking for.
Taller than any other building in the city.
No.
I think that's what we need to know for now.
For churches, there are temples, yes.
Yeah.
And they're temples, not churches.
Yes.
Temples. I call them churches throughout. But Liz also doesn't know. But she has no reference to the word church either. So. Church. She doesn't wear shorts.
No. Okay. Next, we have greetings and swear words and stuff.
Yes. You okay?
Yeah.
Both you and I used some sort of religious sounding greeting.
Yeah.
Not the same one though, because we didn't talk about it. But still, I had a phrase, I don't remember what now, but the priest said it said to Lyd, and it was sort of implied that she was supposed to answer something that went with it.
Mm.
It's like a common thing, like you say A, I say B, and then, you know.
Mm.
And you had something similar. Ryla said something. Maybe.
I had something. Whew.
Interlude dance. This is an interlude dance. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Thanks.
No.
Can you search in comments?
Maybe. Either way, maybe we
Don't
because
even
it doesn't seem like she says it. Maybe it's in the way house or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah,
No, you cannot search in the comments apparently.
no, doesn't seem like. I don't know. Either way, yes.
We've had those greetings that go halfway and you say the other half. Is that a thing we want to do? / are there common greetings that are not necessarily said by the priests / in religious situations that could still be tied to the gods? But yeah. How do you greet people? Do you just say hello? Or do you say something more than that?
Hello.
We do not say hello, no.
Huh.
No. That
Not
is
even the body.
That
The noodle.
he is a noodle. Okay, yeah.
Yes, I would say that I would kind of like for there to be a religious greeting, like official, but we don't have to, like, when you meet a baker, you say this thing. When you meet this, you say this thing. When you meet a friend that you haven't met for at least 340 hours, then you have to.
Okay. Yeah. But it is something that it's tied to something religious because that's a big part of the culture.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking if it's something that you say, like, when you come into a church or a way house or something, when you meet a priest specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, because I found mine.
Yeah.
The priest says, "May you find salvation," he says, bowing his head. He stands like that for a moment, and when he raises his eyes again, he gives me a strange look. "Hi?" I say, my voice weak. And then he's like, "You're not from around here, are you?" But we also talked about salvation is not something we use in this religion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I mean, the religion
Isolation.
finds.
May you never see anyone.
I mean, it could be something tied to elements. May my fire warm you, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a, like, if you're invited into someone's home, they say, "May my fire warm you." When it comes to a church
Temple.
Respect towards nature, respect tradition.
Tree! That's what you say.
Yes.
With that look on your face. Tree!
Okay.
Could it be, like, this doesn't really work for the entire thing, but could the greeting you say to a priest be, "May the gods speak through you," or something like that? Like, because they're supposed to, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are some like terms that are related to elements that we could?
Trees.
Yes.
I'm glad. I look forward to your next video. Just starting a video like that with no context. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like canopy, as in
Trees.
forest.
Trees.
Storm, lightning, thunder, spark.
Something on isolation, satisfied with what you have, don't go seeking adventure, like
Comfort.
yeah, stability.
May you be stable.
No, thank you.
No? Okay.
Says the person, me, who got a fortune cookie that was translated into "you are extremely sensitive," which I thought was rude.
Anyone else have any suggestions?
Tree. No. I'm doing great. Because people aren't really supposed to better themselves. Like they're supposed to listen to the priests and give offerings to the gods, but it's not like, oh, you should improve XYZ.
Yeah.
May the winds be calm and our fires warm.
Yeah.
I like that. The Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your fields. I like this. It's too long, but I like it.
Yeah.
And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we can't squeeze in all the elements. Unless it's one person says wind, and someone says fire, and someone says water, and someone says like exactly, someone says tree. Eventually, yes. That's it. Like you say, how many do we have? Is it 5?
7.
7. You say 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then both people just yell tree, and then they embrace.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
There are many elements and many possibilities.
Yes.
Something about balance between the elements.
Yeah.
May the elements give you what you need, like something like that, because you're not supposed to be greedy and get too much, but you're supposed to be granted what you need.
Yeah. Because I mean, something like this is like one person says, "May the winds be calm," and the other one says, "Our fire is warm."
Yeah, because that then, like, if you enter someone's house and they want to warm you with their fire thing, I feel there should also always be a fire burning in the church, the temple. Could be a thing.
Yeah.
But then the first person is the person entering, i.e. Lyd in this example. And then she's supposed to say, "May the winds be calm." And then the priest is supposed to answer, "And our fire is warm." And she's the odd one out. She won't say anything.
Yeah.
She'll just stare at him.
But I'm thinking if winds calm, fire warm, water
refreshing. Cold. Drinkable.
I mean, cool.
Very cool. Lightning. Electricity. Lightning.
Lightning.
Spike.
Right?
Yeah.
Ground. Firm.
Support. No, not firm. Yeah.
Metal.
Sharp. Strong. Just.
Yeah,
If
but
you
I'm
want
thinking,
like a 4 or a short.
yeah, but I'm thinking mostly as like something that's actually related to the element. Air.
We would have winds.
Oh, right.
Plants.
Plants.
Grow. Thrive. Bear fruit. Give food.
Bloom.
Are the elements considered separate from the gods? The gods are elements. Still not sure.
I mean, we're.
Ooh.
Huh?
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
I really like that one. Very good one. Yeah, sorry, answering Moon's question.
I think that the
Are they separate like that?
I don't know.
No.
Because we kind of said that like the
god of fire is fire.
Yeah. But not in the sense that like I don't know.
No.
But you have to ask difficult questions about world building.
No, we're going to do a check-in, not world building. You should have had those questions a while ago. Or on February 12th. Yeah.
I mean, I think the elements are sort of separate from the gods. Like the element are the gods, but the gods are not just the elements.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. So if you have a fire in your stove, that has been granted by the gods, but you're not actually burning your god.
No.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
Burning gods. Yes. Yeah. And I feel like we can't include all of them.
No.
I like the suggestions Violet had. Oh. Yes, no, we're not burning our gods here.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like there could be different, like, because this I feel like that's a very good, like with a priest, for example. The priest says from sun to tide.
The gods provide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's supposed to say.
Yeah.
The gods provide.
That's why I have a different voice than you. I did the second thing.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe there are others, like you say this if someone is going on a journey.
Yeah.
And something like that.
Yeah. So the priest could say from sun to tide and wait for her to say the gods provide, which not only completes it, but also indicates her piety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Me too.
Waiting for temple going. Priest from sun to tide.
Priest. Person. Priests are not people. Yeah.
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 And maybe that's like we can leave it at that for now. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just Googling that phrase to make sure it's not used. No. I both Googled that phrase and from sun to tide may God provide. Nothing. I mean, no, nothing.
Yeah. But we'll leave it like that, and that's the one to use in your part.
Yeah.
And I should probably have it somewhere in my part so that the reader knows what's supposed to happen there.
Yeah.
And then potentially we can use these if we feel like I want a official greeting here.
Yeah.
And then we'll just use that and let each other know. And
I did also like this as a going on a journey thing.
yeah.
So my thought here is that since Ryla is training to be a priest, she could be saying this.
Yeah.
And he could answer.
Yeah.
That can happen in the first chapter.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then this is something that they can say at the Way House or not the Nomads, the
Outcasts.
Outcasts. Yeah. For example.
Yeah.
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 It's a start at least.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Then we move on to swear words and crossing fingers.
Yes.
I both had Lynn say hell. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And she said or did cross her fingers.
Yeah.
And that's very our world things. I don't think they believe in hell. I don't know what they believe in afterlife or after death, but...
No. And I have shard. Wait.
Yes, is baby distracted? Can we curse? I know I just said a few, but... I think you wrote the wrong thing there.
Nope, that is exactly what I meant to write.
I mean, that could be used as a swear word, I suppose.
Yes.
But I do believe you meant shard.
Yes. For example.
Wouldn't be a shard of God either.
I had that in my part.
Mm-hmm.
I also had... I mean, I had purple eye. Insult.
You okay?
Fine.
Refers to shapeshifters.
Yeah. I feel like I had something else too, but I don't remember it now.
No, I remember those two.
Yeah.
I think you used shard more than one.
Yeah.
More than once. Not more than one. Yeah. She won't have a reference to either one of these though.
No.
Well, yes, shard maybe, but also
Potentially.
but not really.
No.
Yeah, the hell one is wrong. I just needed her to say something. And so I pulled from experience.
Your experience of hell?
Yes. That sounds great.
Cool. Yeah.
Could it be like, I'm thinking for her, if we think the shapeshifters have been in the archipelago for 200 years, they were kicked out. I mean, guards should not be a curse word, but like they've had their own hardships. They've either had hardships with the ruler, but so it could be like, I know it's not him, but like Octavian is a curse word, whoever was the ruler back then. Or I'm thinking like things that have caused them hardship in the archipelago, apart from the gods. Storms, for example.
Yeah.
Harsh wind. Like.
Yeah. Amy said that too. Storms or wrecking or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wreck it. I thought we were going to write shapes.
Yes.
Circle.
Oh, circle.
It's hard to draw.
Bubbles.
Both.
Wreck or wrecked, that wrecked thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hmm. And
I mean, storm again.
yeah.
Or thunder, like something like that. She's going to enjoy her lightning trial so much.
How would storm be used then?
I mean, I'm thinking of it like, I don't know, I actually know what that swear word is, but like, oh, this bloomin' car.
Mm-hmm.
Bloomin' is a swear word.
Oh.
Or used as a replacement for this stormy fish. I don't know. It's not a great one. Because I'm going to look up what her hell was. Like, how she used it.
In Tintin, Captain Haddock says thundering typhoons.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh.
Let's see.
I don't storming know.
I don't storming know. Why the hell am I in another cave? Hello was also marked as hell. Shell doesn't work. And I'd very much like to get the hell out of here. Are the two I've used so far. So what the hell is this? And get the hell out of here. Hello, bird. Sorry.
Which neither of these would really. Why the storm? Am I in another cave? Especially because the storm. Like, there's one hell. There's not just one storm.
Well, we all remember the storm of '94. I don't. I mean, also, I feel like they could have been very affected by weather in general. If there's a drought, that could but then it shouldn't be exclusive to them. I feel like that should also then be used by farmers and stuff, unless they are scared of insulting the gods by
Yeah.
Undertow.
Yeah.
Undertow. Toe.
Undertow.
No. How's it going?
Great.
Do we have? Because I'm thinking her swear words. If she finds herself in a cave, what in the undertow is going on in here doesn't really make sense unless we've got context for it. A bit like the greetings from before. I'm wondering, is there a swear word she could use that is a single word expression? Like, shit, I forgot the time. You know?
Yeah, because you have her saying that too. Not specifically, I forgot the time, but yeah.
And I mean, that could still work because that is still a.
I mean, that is. I mean, shit exists in this world as well.
Really? We haven't actually talked about. Yes.
Well, I have included it in the story.
Huh. Yes, you have. Yeah, I have shit. Yeah, I have. Oh shit! You look like shit. You would be surprised by half the shit that goes on in this place. I still feel like shit. Also, I have fucking shit. Fucking shit, no, I'm not hurt. It's a sentence or two sentences. Now.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like that also works. That's also a thing that happens in this world.
Wait, what? Can you explain?
in detail, or
That's up to you.
I will demonstrate for you later. What?
You're being awful right now.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Those swear words could work, yes.
Yeah. I think basically any swear word that we have in our world that is not specifically related to religions, somewhat depending on the next thing.
Right. Yes, because that confused, or I understood what was happening,
Yeah.
but the connection confused me.
Yes. Squall is an angry sounding word.
Is it?
No.
Squall. Squall, squall. Just sound, to me, it sounds like a sound the seagulls would make. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't mean to shoot down your idea, Moon, but live snow seagull.
Well, if we okay, let's do this one.
Yeah.
Because I had written when Niam realizes that he has this thing where he can see in the dark, he wonders if he's cursed.
Yes.
And
Perfect. 10 out of 10. You're really contributing a lot of good things today, Wout.
Yes. I also just edited the live stream where the reverse mermaid thing happened for the first time.
Oh?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yes.
I look forward to you editing the melon temple. I want to see that again.
I wasn't actually thinking I would include the melon temple part, but
I still want to see it.
Yeah. There was something I thought of. Yes. In relation to this sort of but what about something like redfin or something like there's a fish that's very bad, or like we don't like this fish because we can't eat it and it eats everything we want to and
Shark,
it has
like scary, dangerous, bad.
Yeah.
Sharknado. We're
Yes.
combining two problems here.
And like something from that, like if you see a red fin, those fishes are around, or and they mean bad luck, or like something like that.
Yeah.
Could be a thing.
Yeah. Do we then have to invent a fish, or could we go with shark, or like something we all have a concept of?
I mean, either or, but I like inventing things.
I know you do. I mean, it could also be like if they have again, not necessarily just shapeshifters, but like a weed that takes over that makes it difficult for food to grow. Could be a thing.
Yeah.
Might be a weird curse word to throw out there, but
anyway. Curses. Are curses a thing?
I don't know.
Do they Willywows? It's apparently synonym to storm. Cool.
I see.
Foof.
Foof, yes.
Are curses a thing? Is that a thing? Do they curse each other?
I don't know. I have been thinking not. Or I hadn't thought of it, and then when I read it, I was like, no. Because I took it as only the ruler has magic. The ruler may take advantage of that magic and do stupid things with it, but I didn't think of curses being a thing. No.
I mean, I didn't think of like, oh, someone has cursed me, but rather I have been cursed by the gods. Like the opposite of a blessing is a curse. And I'm just assuming you can be blessed by gods.
Seems likely,
Yeah.
yes.
And in that case, maybe you can be cursed too.
Maybe. When you put it like that, it makes sense. But it's also never explained or referenced ever again. Once they figure out he's on the quest, no curse is ever mentioned. It's not like, oh no, maybe I've been cursed. Like, here's this history, this story about someone.
Does there need to be?
Not necessarily.
I mean, it could, like, I could definitely put that into the story about El Rey. Something about a curse.
Yeah.
We could, like, shapeshifters could be cursed.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that is a connection he could make. He could make connection with shapeshifters.
yeah.
Thinking, because that might be a nicer way, a more empathetic way of looking at shapeshifters. Is not that they have tricked the gods, is that they've been cursed by them.
Yeah.
You know? So
that's nicer, but yeah.
No, but then maybe, like, if you stole something or if you just had bad things befall you, I am more empathetic to this.
I mean, I'm just assuming that if you've been cursed, you have been for a reason. You did something bad first, and then you were cursed.
I see. Fair, entirely fair. But, yeah. The more I think about it, the more curses work.
Yeah.
Better the curses.
Yay.
Yay.
All the curses.
No. Yeah, so yes, you can believe you've been cursed by the gods, and that could, like, if you have a bad crop, if you have, whatever. And then if you speak to the priest, they're probably going to say, oh, but just, give more. And then things will be better next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes.
Yeah.
And he might make that conclusion. Lid might never make that conclusion.
No.
But yes. So it
That's also, we don't have that question here. I want to add a question.
Huh? We can remove exponential. Kind of done that one. But yes, is it good enough answer, or do you want to go further?
I feel like that's probably good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just going to go there.
There's something only mentioned once, you could pretty easily reinforce it by having it mentioned again elsewhere.
It doesn't have to be him feeling cursed or even in his half, but Lid hearing someone else mention it or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could definitely be worked in.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving on to Octavian's original power.
Yes.
Which
we don't remember.
No. I scrolled back in the Discord where we talked about it, and we talked about time manipulation, and we had written there that you and I were leaning towards having a time manipulation thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember. We also talked about him being able to tell if people are lying.
Yeah.
Which I remember that we said it was that is how he found out. That's how he found out about there being two heirs and that whole thing.
Right.
Because that's not a thing that all the rulers before him have known.
No.
That's been the advisors and stuff.
Yeah. And I think both of these powers could be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And very difficult to fight.
Yeah.
If he can manipulate time, he depending on what he can do, he could slow it down so much that he can get in 15 blows before they get in one.
Yeah.
Lies is interesting because Lid, for example, who doesn't know a lot about this world and about the quest and about all that, she wouldn't be lying when she answers questions wrong.
Depending on the questions.
Yes, but if he asks a question, she doesn't know the answer and she gives an answer that is wrong, not necessarily a lie. So it might not flag as a lie for him.
Yeah.
for example. And also lies. I feel like the time manipulation one would be trickier to combat or to fight.
Mm-hmm.
The lie one, you, Liv could trick. Like, it's a white lie a lie. Is a half-truth a lie. Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be, you know. Because, I mean, a lot of people have this, like, gut feeling of, I think you're lying to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, your eyes flicker around. You know, sort of things that people do when they lie or can do when they lie.
Yeah.
But his is heightened. He can ask, is this water bottle pink? And you say no, and he knows, like...
I mean, I would also know that that was a lie.
Okay, fine. Fine. But, like, is your parents alive? And he doesn't know. And she says no, and he will know that she lies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why just that is important, but what does Moon say? If you know someone's lying, that could just be on the surface, spoken lies, but it could be seeing the truth, which could mean anticipating actions in fight, knowing what someone's about to do. Yeah, I mean, he could just be over analytical of people's intentions. Like, huh?
How do you mean?
Like, if we're sword fighting,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm striking, this is how you hold a sword, by the way. I'm striking like that, and then I'm gonna block over here, and then I'm gonna go for your kneecap, apparently. I'm probably gonna be, it's possible I'm giving and slightly, like, I look over there, can I get your knee? Like, and he reads that better. I don't know. True, but they are not martial artists. Is my plan, or my thought. Neon and Lid. People telegraph a lot of their intentions in their body language. I don't know. Because also, he has never been at risk of being dethroned because none of his heirs have beaten him or, like, completed the trial.
Mm.
Has he had to face any sort of uprising, disagreement, something from the people?
I mean, I don't think the people have ever tried to rebel.
No.
I don't know. Why?
I don't know. It also doesn't have to be lying or time manipulation.
No.
Or it could also be lying. He could be lying really convincingly. Someone really gifted at picking up on body language can read it even if a person's trying not to show it, and will also be able to pick up on signs of lying.
Mm-hmm. But we're also thinking that this is supposed to be magic.
And not just a gut feeling that is pretty strong and pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Well, she has healing. Neum has seeing in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
If we completely ignore time manipulation and lies or detecting lies or something, something non-elemental that is still useful that you could wake up with. I mean, there was someone you mentioned in yours could predict the weather.
Yeah.
Pretty useless.
Depends on.
It depends on, but not as useful maybe as being able to heal someone who's hurt. Liv special. She's not like other girls.
Yes.
Flying, teleportation, reading minds, which is sort of linked to telling if someone's lying.
Yeah.
Mind games, telekinetic.
Telekinesis.
Thank you. Because I feel like the telekinesis, you could do that with your air powers.
Yeah.
For example.
I mean, to a certain level.
Yes,
but,
yeah. Healing someone you could do with your plant powers if you know what some healing herbs are, or you could, what's that called when you like burn a wound to...
You cauterize it?
Yeah, you could like, for example, with your fire power.
But that's not really healing.
And that's just burning. That actually hurts.
Yes.
I had a thing.
List of magical powers in the Arrowverse. Cool. I don't know what that is.
It's a series.
Cool.
I mean, I saw a thing which was like, you know what I want? A superhero series where they have powers that 100% contradict their personalities. A fisherman's daughter who lives by the sea, swims every day, learns that she can control fire. A boy who's mortified of heights but realizes he can use anti-gravity and hates it. Someone who was bitten by a dog as a child, suffers extreme fear around animals, can now communicate with them. They're all disgusted with their powers, but that doesn't really work.
List of
super strength. Elemental control. Well, you know.
Alchemy. Breathing underwater. Astral projection. Ice, manipulating crystals. Seeing the future. What if he's an empath?
So you can feel what they're feeling?
Yeah.
Sure. That's going to be difficult to block.
Yeah.
Being able to summon nearby dogs when you're afraid of dogs would be awful.
Yes. I know what I'm thinking. If he's an empath, that is a way to detect lies. Mm-hmm. If you can like feel what, feel like you're lying to me.
Mm.
I mean, potentially, but also potentially not.
Sensing that if I do this, they fear me more, I will do more of that.
I'm also thinking like being an empath, if people don't like you, like I can feel what you're feeling. You're feeling like you hate me. Well, I'm just gonna do something even worse. Like,
I'll make you hate me more.
Yeah.
I have a horrible idea.
Okay.
No, continue yours. I'm gonna keep my horrible idea, but I'm gonna say it when you're done.
I mean, that's nice. Could be an empath who feeds off negative energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm thinking of it in a similar vein to, because one of the worst superpowers I could imagine is being able to, is hearing people's thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Because you would hear when someone is like, oh, that thing you do is so annoying.
Yeah.
And
it's enough to see someone roll your eyes, then roll your eyes.
Yes. And like if you're feeling that, oh, I'm surrounded by so many lies and so many like bad thoughts, being affected by that, and like, well, I'm gonna be the worst of them all.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You want to hear my horrible thoughts?
I do.
Which is horrible on several levels. What if he can morph into different people? He can't shift into animals. But he can make himself look like other people. Like glamour, sort of. Is that what it's called? He could use that to trick them later on. To try to get them to turn on each other, or take the form of her mother or something. But it might also be a power he doesn't openly do a lot because of the whole shapeshift banishment thing. However, shapeshifters can't shift into other people, but that might not be widely known.
But then if people know that he can do that, would they respect him less because he's a shapeshifter?
Exactly. What if it wasn't common a couple of generations back, a generation or two back, to share what your initial power is outside of the royal family? But now with social media, but now, because now people know, not his maybe, but the heirs on the trial, like the change the weather or sense the weather, predict. I don't know. I just think it could be interesting, especially with a shapeshifter twist or thing. It's not great, but it's cool.
I mean, it is. I'm just trying to think of like, since shapeshifters are so bad, would people have ever supported someone who they thought, "Ooh, but that's very shapeshiftery"?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. Okay. I also need the bathroom, but I'll say this first. We've talked about the regalia. And we've talked about how there's two sets of regalia. One went down with Shardmere. He has the other one, passed down generations, blah, 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 blah. Each item of the regalia is tied to a power, an elemental magic, right?
Yeah.
And they've started to wither and stop working and because he's gone evil. What if his original power is glamour, but of other items? So he's managed to keep them looking good, but somehow maybe it's slipping. I don't know if you can lose your initial power. We said they started slipping because he started losing the connection with the gods, basically, or something. Or like maybe not the regalia, but he's made the castle, the whatever, look really good and fancy and cool and whatever. But eventually, when he dies, spoilers, it all crumbles. The facade goes down or is lifted, whatever, and everything was in ruins all along. I don't really know why he would not just fix it in like for real.
Yeah. No, but I do kind of like the like he can some sort of illusion thing.
Yeah. And maybe he can have learned to illusion himself if we want to use that angle as well. I don't know.
I mean, it depends. I'm kind of thinking to limit it a bit. I think it would be like illusion of static things.
Yeah. We're
like
just talking about traps now, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't see the hole in the floor because there's a hole, but make an illusion of floor there. But maybe you can't make an illusion of a cat because the cat's going to move around. But you can do it of the regalia, for example, because yes, it moves around, but it is static and it's with you.
Yeah.
In another way. That could be really cool.
Something like that, I think, would be really nice.
Yeah.
Nice being a relative term, but interesting. Maybe.
Yeah.
I have to go to the bathroom, but
yeah,
you keep talking about this.
I will.
I will do it. Do the priests wear hats? I don't know. Is this a joke? Like.
Huh?
Okay. I was like, do priests wear hats? I don't know. Is it relevant?
I like
the setup for a joke. I didn't mean, are you joking?
Yeah, to me, it sounded like, do priests wear hats? Is that a joke? Are you trying to be funny right now?
Of course they don't wear hats. Sorry.
I love you.
Love you too.
Illusions. Maybe only of static things. not living creatures, but items and stuff. That could be really cool. There we go. Generally important religious people get interesting headgear if it obscures their faces at all. And then he could pretend to be a priest because he can hide his face under a priest hat. Maybe. Are clothes static or non-static? Because I'm thinking, in a way, they are like... They're not static because they float is not the word. Flutter. And that might be at least more difficult to keep an illusion like that. He could turn his robes and crowns into a priest's robes and hat, potentially, if he wants to. Yes. Imagine it would be impossible to change a thing like the cat you mentioned, which can run away and has its own mind. Yeah. But a non-alive item would be easier to control. Yeah. So that may be including clothes. And it might be easier also with like his own clothes, that he could manipulate them because they are like, they're right here. Whereas he can't really manipulate someone else's clothes because that someone else is going to move in unpredictable ways, and the illusion is probably going to be, it's going to look weird. It's not going to work properly. Is my thinking. Because again, I want a little bit of limitation. Now I'm just thinking about the Wizard of Oz, and oh look, everything is green. You don't even have to wear glasses to see that everything is green. Everything is just green. But maybe that's not really a thing he would waste his energy on. But still. But yeah, I do like the illusions thing. I feel like that could be really good, and especially like you said, with traps and stuff, and when they're fighting him. Yeah, I approve of that. Maybe his own clothes, but not other people's, because it's harder to keep an illusion on a moving object. If you're not the one moving it. And now I'm wondering if, because Lyd hallucinates in Inferno Valley, and if that somehow helps her notice when something is an illusion or not, like she can recognize somehow that this isn't real because she's experienced hallucinations before. Because that could be a nice tie-in where like sort of foreshadowing kind of thing. Maybe. It has hallucinated. Has that made her better at spotting illusions? So then air powers and a gust of wind could possibly disrupt this illusion if it blows his clothes around. Yeah? Yeah. Maybe then their powers could help stop the illusions flow on the and move it. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, cool. Me too. And that also gives Lyd another thing, because Lyd was going to be the more useful person in the second half, because Neem had more. Neem did more important things in the what we've written now, and Lyd was going to do more important things after. So if she, through her hallucinations, has gained some insight into this, that gives her another important thing to do, which I think would be good. We'll see what Matilda thinks. But yeah, we'll remove those things. That is not what I intended to do. Regular text. There we go. Yeah. Could be very interesting if she doesn't realize something is an illusion. Like, it would take time for two people to realize they're not seeing something the same way. Yeah. Yeah, so like she if you're switching chapters, the reader might realize before Lyd does. So like she sees the real thing, not the illusion, and also doesn't like see that this is an illusion. Like the ruler has turned a green thing into a blue thing. She still sees the green thing, whereas Neem sees the blue thing. And yeah, so in that case, not so much about spotting illusions, but seeing through them. Or like being unaffected. That could be really fun. Will also make it difficult for her to like, if she's gonna say call instructions to Neem and like turn at the green thing, and Neem doesn't see a green thing because he sees a blue thing, and then yeah, their cooperation will be a little bit difficult then. Neem sees the regalia intact. She sees that it's shabby and falling apart, but doesn't realize the significance, or that Neem doesn't see it. Yeah, I like that. That's really good. Also gives them also gives them an advantage over Octavian if he can't use his power properly with Lyd there ruining it, which is good because I do think they do need advantages, since Octavian he's had his powers for longer. He knows more how to handle them. He knows about the seasonal changes in them and stuff. So them having this, I think would be good. And even when she does start to realize she wouldn't know what Neem is seeing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like this. I just want Matilda to come back so we can share it with her and see if she likes it too. She might not realize he sees a floor where she sees a staircase or whatever. So the fact that she can see through the illusions doesn't save him from falling down the stairs. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. grab myself some more tea. I'm using this teapot because it is so pretty and it's very relevant for writing. I feel like I get inspiration from it just standing here. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We have thought of cool things.
Okay. Initiate me.
Yes. If the fact that Lyd has hallucinated in the in Inferno Valley has made her sort of either be better at seeing, like, no, that's an illusion, that's not real, or that she isn't affected by it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so she and Neum sees very different things when they fight the ruler, for example.
Yeah, because he doesn't hallucinate, does he?
No.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Static things. I'm reading the.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about, like, what would the illusion work on? Not living creatures, and maybe he can do his own clothes, but he can't do, like, because another person is moving in a way that he can't predict.
Yeah.
And so trying to do their clothes is more difficult.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. And Moon said that potentially then if you blow air towards him, he's not ready for that, and then the illusion sort of maybe falters entirely, or you can just
see through it.
Yeah.
Cracks in the facade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm sure we've already gone through that, but
yeah,
and the reader might realize before the characters do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
What about Bodhi? Did he have those hallucinations because he was attacked by the same plant?
He was,
He was not attacked by the same plant.
No,
he was attacked by a scorpion.
Yes, but he could also have hallucinated.
Yeah.
And be able to see it differently.
Yeah.
So was Teb.
Yeah. Neum is the only one who's tricked by the illusions.
I thought we were friends. No, because Neum and Lyd and Teb got the same poison as each other.
Yeah.
And he hallucinated himself into a dragon, so you know.
Yes. I mean, it's also possible that Bodhi can see through hallucinations because they only work on humans.
But Lyd and Teb are also not humans.
Well, almost humans.
Human adjacent.
Yes. No, but if what you have, like, because Bodhi has kind of different senses as well.
Mm-hmm.
He sees a bit with his eyes, but he also sees a bit with his tongue. And
yeah.
So either way, we don't have to explain why he sees through it. If
we're not going to get anything from his POV anyway. But yes. But Octavian can do illusions.
Yeah.
And mostly illusions that relate to static things / himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't have to have it be that he can also, shift himself or look like someone else.
No.
But it could be something that he could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it would be like, I think that might be a bit much, and also like, yes, you are the one moving your face, but that's a little bit more complicated than,
Yeah. Don't make a deep fake on your own face. Illusions. To the Virgin. So I like how we have, okay, picture one picture, or like just listen to one picture in here.
Uh-huh.
I said a while ago that the big fight with Octavian,
Mm-hmm.
which he may or may not be too proud to involve his guards in, we'll see, will take place in winter.
Mm-hmm.
where it's either stark white because it's daytime and Neum can't see shit, or it's pitch black because there's no sunlight and Lid can't see. But we do have illusions that she can see, but he can't see. Okay.
I think that's excellent.
It adds a lot of layers of sight or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I think we can go with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
We have been streaming for 3 hours now.
Yes.
We only have 2 points or 2 things left. So let's try to do them. It does sound pretty complicated, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I just like if it they start fighting in daylight in the courtyard full of snow. Neum can't see shit. He has to rely on, senses and stuff and on your right, no your other right, my right, not your right thing. Great. And then, the day is very short and so evening rolls around and suddenly he can see. But oh no, there are illusions now. And so he can't see anyway. I like it. It's a debate.
Yes.
Also, if they do fight in the dark, Lid is going to want to use her fire powers to see by.
Yeah.
Which will not help him at all. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
So, second and last point then.
Yes. What do the shapeshifters think of the gods?
Yes.
Because I remember that what we've said before is that when the shapeshifters were driven from the mainland, they got into boats, or they turned to fish, or whatever, and they...
Sounds more effective. I just want to bring stuff, yeah.
They left the mainland, and their idea was to leave as far as possible.
Yeah.
But they couldn't leave very far because they were stopped by the gods.
Yeah.
And so they had to settle for the archipelago.
Yeah.
And that this made them realize that the gods aren't gods. They aren't benevolent. They are keeping us trapped here.
Yeah.
We hate them now. They are evil.
Yeah. And now it's been 200 years since then. And there are some humans, very few, Mama being one of them, who have come and joined them.
Yeah.
Who has been involved / known about religion more recently than these people. We do also have the shapeshifters that are still on the mainland or back on the mainland, where they are expected to go to temple.
Yes.
And they might have a different view on it than...
Yes.
Yeah.
But in this question is mostly about what Lid thinks.
Well, seemingly she doesn't care for them.
No, but she also doesn't seem to hate them.
No.
Because the way I interpreted what I read when I read Lid's story was that I don't care about the gods. They're around, but whatever.
Yeah. But it wasn't an outright hatred towards them.
No. And because I'm thinking if 200 years have passed by since the shapeshifters turned on the gods, maybe they don't even call them gods.
No.
Maybe they're demons to them. I don't know.
No.
Or maybe... Yeah, maybe they don't believe... Maybe they don't talk about them at all. They're not a thing.
Because when the shapeshifters were kicked off the mainland, that was close in time to the whole Shardmare thing.
Yeah. Well, not to Shardmare sinking, but to Elray looking for Shardmare. And
yes, Shardmare sank further ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Elray thing, and she was accused of having stolen powers somehow, or tricked the gods into giving her powers or something like that. Which is not true, whether she was a shapeshifter or not. That's not what the shapeshifters have done, and they know that. So when they were accused of it, they knew it was a lie, but it was still not safe to stay. My question is, if they fled the mainland and they tried to go far and they couldn't get very far and they ended up on the archipelago, could there have been we know we didn't steal the powers and trick the gods, but are the gods dissatisfied with us? Should we cling to religion, build a church, temple, give our offerings, and then realizing, well, this doesn't change anything, we still can't leave? Or did they flat out start hating the gods?
I don't know.
Because I think, because Moon asked, does she actually believe in them?
Mm.
I don't really think she has a choice because they are real, but she might not believe that they are good. However, I mean, my point being, the sun will rise, the rain will fall, cycles of life, all that still happens in the archipelago, regardless of if they praise the guards, praise the gods or not. But once she gets to the mainland and once she gets her powers, she does get them from the gods. So she could also have a shift in that.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't, what you said earlier, that she doesn't have to believe in them. Just because the gods are real, they don't they don't come down from the heavens and show themselves.
No.
So they don't have to believe that the gods are real. They could just,
Yeah.
Fire is fire. Stupid humans believe that fire is a god.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. That's true.
And maybe instead they have some legends of demons keeping them, because again, they were stopped from leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that is not the gods doing, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That could just be legends of sea monsters or something. We don't have to go into that either, but
yeah. I don't know. I think maybe the shapeshifters don't believe in. I don't think that the shapeshifters have gone 200 years and been like, oh, I think the gods are angry with us. Yeah, me too. And done nothing about it or not tried to fix it. I think either they don't believe, maybe, or like Moon say, they're agnostic.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. What do you think, Marcus?
I don't know, because I kind of liked the they think of the gods as evil.
Yeah.
Because that would add a lot of emotions for Lyd when she is forced to play this game that's constructed by these evil gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that works. Is she going to change her opinion, though?
I mean, she might not change her opinion on, I
mean, what they've done is still pretty evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she... I mean, she's probably not going to start to, I love the gods now because they gain fire powers.
No.
But potentially more okay, fine, I'm going to use these powers, but I'm going to do it for me and not for the gods.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Where do we go? If she thinks the gods are just messing with her, that would make her more reluctant to use her powers. Because that was also a thing I think we talked about, that she doesn't use her powers, and I know that's more because you don't think about powers. Yes. You're not used to writing magic, and so you haven't had her use.
I mean, I did write a witch book, but
but that could also be a thing, that no, I don't want to use these powers because they come from these evil gods, and I don't want to play their game.
But then it sounds to me like it's not like, oh, humans and their silly belief in gods. It's humans and their silly belief that gods are nice.
Yes.
I Lyd still believe that there are gods, but they are evil and wicked.
Yeah.
Okay. She'd be conflicted, so where the powers come from ends up being less important to her than the good she can do with them.
Yeah.
I just picture her like waking up with her 5. She has a lot going on then, but waking up with her 5 powers and just being like, "The gods burn. Should I go find them?" And because she might not know that gods are not gods.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a pyromaniac over our hands.
A pyromaniac mermaid?
A pyromaniac mermaid?
That was the last string name.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, okay, so they think they're evil and wicked. Lid is Lid doesn't want to play their game, is conflicted when she gets powers. Like, she doesn't want to play the game when she wakes up with powers.
Yeah.
Hasn't occurred to her before.
No.
Where the powers came from is less important than what she can do with them. What? Will she be
angry with her human mother
for
bringing this onto her?
Yep.
Like, if it weren't for you and your gods,
I'd be out of the grasp.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Angry with Mama for bringing this on her. Oh.
Yes.
I also just want to say a thing that I don't think either one of us mentioned in our videos, but that we both actually ended up writing.
Uh-huh.
Both Lid and Niam have a time in the story where they're like, I have powers now, I am dangerous.
Mm.
Or some, like, I am powerful, people should be afraid. That sort of thought.
Yeah.
Which I really like that we both had included.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense for them to have that thought. And royal heirs might not consider that.
No.
Like,
to them it would be natural.
Exactly. Yeah, I just know, I read yours and I was like, Lid thought the same thing. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that works for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Well then, on to the last point of the stream.
Yes. Which is probably a relatively small point,
Yeah.
because it's just something we want to mention.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll
deeper.
Yeah, it has to do with the future of the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have thoughts.
Yes.
I have for a long time been saying that this is getting too long to be just one book.
Yes.
And so I had the thought of the halfway point, which is probably roughly where we are right now, would be the end of book 1. And then book 2 would be the meeting for real, because they don't actually meet now. The meeting for real, and then now the rebellion uprising thing, and them doing the water trial, and everything snowballing to them defeating Octavian.
Yeah.
And them being separated, and Mama betrayal, and everything we talked about that we're gonna keep plotting on the 12th.
Yeah.
But then Marcus had an idea.
Yes. I had a vision.
Which is rare.
Which is rare. No, but I had the thought of when Octavian is defeated and Lid and Niam are ruling and they have fixed things up and everything is good, or at least on its way to being good.
Right, and as a side note here, we knew that this was going to be the end of the quest. Like, the quest is not going to continue past them.
No, they were always meant to be the last heirs with these powers that would have to go through the quest and all that, because the gods have decided to leave.
Yes, which will also open up the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was writing when Neum was in Inferno Valley, and he spends a fair bit of time with the nomads there.
Mm-hmm. And I also pointed out that we have a lot of named side characters that they meet and then stop meeting.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see them again.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah. But the nomads don't leave Inferno Valley. But also, once the gods are gone, Inferno Valley is going to break.
Yep.
Inferno Valley is no longer going to be Inferno Valley. Because that is all tied to the gods. That it's the territory of the gods, and the plant, ground, and fire gods. So when the gods are gone, the fire is gonna end, and maybe the plants are like
the plants or the desert will win.
Yeah, the valley is gonna go back to how it would naturally be.
Yep.
Which would ruin everything for the nomads.
Yep.
Because they live in Inferno Valley. They don't know anything else.
Yep.
And then I just got the vision of like in the capital everything is good. They're like everything, yeah, it's nice. We're yeah. And then
things are really coming along, rebuilding this world.
Yeah. And then the nomads that Neum met suddenly show up in the capital and tell them that Inferno Valley is broken.
Yeah. What did you do?
Yeah.
What the shard did you do?
And then that's sort of being the first, because then it's like maybe the shapeshifters have also realized that, hey, we can go further, like that storm that was always stopping us stopped. Maybe we have seen strange ships on the horizon, and that building into a third book where they have to deal with the rest of the world and the gods no longer being and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And this is also on top of the fact that we already want to write a prequel.
Yeah.
A prequel, which is Shardmere or Elray.
Yeah.
You want to write Elray, and I want to write a really, really shitty royal ruler prince.
Yeah.
I already both hate and love him. He's going to be very unlikable in the beginning. Which we're hoping won't be a trilogy, but you know. So yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, there might be other things broken in the aftermath too. Yeah, I mean the
lightning mountain will stop being on fire or being
for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moon likes it.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I also have this like in the beginning of time, did the gods or people come to this place first? Because if Inferno Valley is going to go back to the way it was naturally supposed to be, has it ever been that way before? And if so, will Shardmere be raised out of the sea? Well, they already do that.
They already raised Shardmere.
Fine. Okay, but like other things. That's my question.
Cool.
Other things?
Cool.
Yeah, so that's a thought we have. So we'll see you in 10 years, and we will have a whole series on this.
I mean, we're going to see you during that time too, because we're going to keep doing this, I think.
Dual checking stream 287.
Yes. I don't see a problem with this.
It's our brand now. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a thought we had that I think we're kind of intrigued by.
Yeah. And also, with the world opening up, Lid is going to leave. Like, I know you had a comment on her inventions and all that not getting as much page time as maybe they should.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first 2 pages of the story, if that, and then never mentioned again. But she would want to go explore. She's always been fascinated by stuff.
But she's never wanted to leave the archipelago.
Never mind.
Tev has wanted to explore.
Tev is not Lid.
No.
Yeah, either way. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times. Maybe the gods brought the people with them. So before they were on the continent, they were just woolly rhinoceroses even, yeah, or reverse mermaids or whatever. And would they come back now? Like before there were humans in North America, we had a lot of megafauna.
Maybe.
And that would be another conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is something to think about, not something to discuss now, because that's, yeah. But it's a thunk.
Yes. But now then.
Yes.
Now this stream is ending.
Yes.
We are going to be back with a stream on the 12th of February. Obviously, unless something unexpected happens, but that's the plan. My hairline is so annoying. That's fine. 12th of February, we're going to do a planning stream similar to what we did in the beginning, similar to what all of these are actually. But
yeah,
because
we need to talk about the next part.
Yeah, the second half,
the second half of the second. The next part of the story, because we don't have enough of that.
No,
and I think we said that the 12th was going to be on your channel.
Mm-hmm. It's not scheduled yet, but yes, it'll be on mine. And then the end of February, the 27th? No, 26th.
Yeah.
Yes. This normal stream is going to be on Roxas again.
Yeah. And that is also going to be a
planning stream. So we'll see how much of an update video we put up. We'll put one up, probably.
Because there was the thing, what happens now? What do we do in February? Because we originally said that after we were done, like had read through our halves, we would jump straight into the second part.
Yeah, which we now realize we need time to talk through with you guys at the very least.
Yeah.
And then you had the idea of us merging part 1 and 2.
Yeah. And fix like the biggest discrepancies, the fire trial and a few other things. I know that that's not your favorite part. It's gonna have to happen eventually.
Not now.
Will you enjoy it more in 6 months?
Sure, probably. It's gonna be summertime. Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn. I don't really want to do that right now. Also because I have other writing plans for February, as you know about.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm a little worried that we're gonna start merging them, and then this is the thing that needs to be fixed. Neo actually needs another chapter here to make this longer because the timeline doesn't sync, sort of thing. And then we're gonna get stuck with sync, not sink, sync. And then we're not gonna be. Then we're going to get so stuck with that and I should write that chapter, or I should fix that thing. I should, and then we're not going to start writing the second draft, second part in April or May either. And we're just going to get stuck and never ever leave this first part.
I don't think that's I'm thinking we will just do an overall thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if it turns out that another chapter is needed somewhere, we'll note that.
But not write it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
Mm.
We also don't have to do that. We can take a break. But again, these things will have to be done eventually.
Or we just give up.
No.
See, now we're back to the mindset and the phrases I say when asked to do things I don't want to do. I don't know. I agree that it would be good to do, but I don't particularly want to do it. I also wonder how much of it is a 2-person job. I mean, we need to sync it with the time. We need to make sure our story is synced with the timeline, or that the timeline syncs with the stories.
Yeah.
And then we need to lit like that, and figure out where there are holes that should be, or big time skips that should be fixed. And then it's Inferno Valley, the fire part.
Yeah.
And probably 50,000 other things.
Biggest things. That's Inferno Valley and maybe the lightning trial.
Yeah. Well, I'm just covering up how I'm actually feeling. I'm covering up very well, mind you. I wish we had agreed on this in private.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
We can take it in private instead of here and then just share in the Discord.
That's just lies. No, don't believe you.
I don't think it's as big a job as you think it is.
No, I think I just think it's very big and daunting and scary and time consuming, and I don't like it.
How about we try
Yeah.
to do the merging,
I
and
thought you were gonna say mermaid.
I do not want to do a mermaid.
Good. No reverse one either?
No.
Good. Okay, good. We established that. Yeah.
We do the merging, we try.
Yeah.
We have as an aim to do the merging to fix the fire trial
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
And if we do more, we do. If we don't do that, we don't. But we can try with no pressure that we have to have done that by the end of February.
I'm running it down.
Yeah.
Merge, fire trial. No, I'm not running it down here. That would make sense.
Uh-huh.
Merge, fire trial. Aim to be done end of February.
Yeah.
Mm. Lightning trial as well.
Maybe, yeah. Merge the chapters.
Well, first comes timeline, doesn't it? It's sort of a joint job there.
According to timeline.
Yeah.
Fix fire trial.
Hmm.
Fix trial.
Hmm. Aim to be done end of February.
Done end of February.
Aim and hope are two different things. Hope is looser though. You can lose hope. You can't lose your aim.
Aim to be done at the end of February. No pressure.
Hmm. But all the little the comments we've made, oh wait, this doesn't really make sense. Oh, this greeting, all those things, we just leave. And it's going to be in a separate, because the merging happens in a new document.
Yeah.
But we leave those, and then when we go through this down the line eventually, we'll incorporate those changes as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we've done this and we feel like we can continue, then we can continue fixing other things.
Yeah.
But there is no pressure.
Okay. I want us to talk to February.
We will talk to February.
I want us to talk through February. Like I mentioned this morning.
Yeah.
Fine.
We're very enthusiastic here.
What about this? Not me. Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on February 12th, we will plot some of the next part. And on the 26th, we will continue the plotting. And then we'll see where we're at with the plotting then, because we might not be done with the plotting for the next bit.
No, and in a way, I wouldn't mind that, because it did also take us 2 months of 8 days a month, both Saturdays and Sundays, to plot the first part.
I think we only did Saturdays the second month, but yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But either way, I wouldn't mind if we take March to do this too, but I am not going to go back to every weekend or one day every weekend being plotting.
No.
That is too much.
That's too much. But we'll see at the end of February if we feel like we want to do 2 in February. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. And if we start writing the second part in April, perfect timing.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Moon would also like to talk to February. January has been here long enough. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. So that's the next steps.
Yeah.
Merging, fixing, aiming. And then 12th, 23rd, and 26th.
Yes. Yeah. Exciting. I'm excited. I can be excited for the both of us.
I'm glad. I'm excited to write the next part. I'm not excited about fixing this part. I really don't like it.
No. But
Can I just write it all and then you just make it all better? No?
we'll talk.
To February.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, I guess that's it then. We have been going for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So good job us.
Yeah. And good job, Moon, and the rest of the chat.
Yes, thank you everyone for being here.
Yes.
Live or after the fact, or in the how meta if you're in the videos.
Yes.
This is not gonna go in the videos.
Well, part of it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was good. We actually answered all of the questions, which I'm really happy with.
Yeah, me too.
And
And now my stupid plans, but that's fine.
yes. Yeah. Okay, thank you everyone for being here. Yes, the edited future videos.
Yes.
We will see you again on Monday, hopefully, for
Yes.
a stream.
Yes.
And if nothing else, on Thursday with
My
another
channel.
stream, or in the future
Yes.
for something else.
Yes.
But
Thank you. It's supposed to be fun.
yes.
Be good. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping us. Thank you for joining us. Be safe. Be good. See you later.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.